Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to SKTV, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome each and every one of you to SKTV. Welcome to today's edition. Welcome to the show. We want to welcome every one of you to the show. Invite someone. You can see the topic. Today promises to be very thought-provoking. I'm going to say inspiring. Very inspiring. I don't want to use the word troublemaking, but today looks like it will be heated. But welcome to the show. Invite someone. Want to welcome each and every one of you. Welcome, and welcome. Let me get this thing pulled up in my ear here. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and welcome. Welcome to the show. Again, welcome to the show. To all of you, each and every one of you, welcome. Invite someone. Let someone know what's going on. You already know what time it is. We'll bring you other news really quick here. Let me get this thing connected. Welcome to the show. I'm smiling, I'm laughing because, he said, the wet, the road to 2023, as you can see on the headline. The road to 2023 is not too good. It's not too good. But we'll talk about all of these things. We'll talk about all of these things today. That road is shaky. It's rocky. The thing we used to say when we were younger, rocky, shaky. Today, in other news, we got one or two videos to play, some recordings. Let's start out with the inauguration. Telvi should be having her inauguration here. Let me get the video, please. Give me a second. We'll play that video. It's for a few seconds. We'll play that video really quick. Today we have a surprise guest. Once we play that video, we'll play another video. Quickly, we'll run through other news. While Sekou, Telvi, and our other guests get ready to join us here. Like I said, put yourself together because today's show by it'll be noisy. It'll be noisy. Oh, I can't find anything. I'm opening a different tab. Wait a minute. Give me a second. Okay. I think that is it. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second here. Please give me a second. Okay. I know it's not playing yet, but we're about to play this. Please listen to this recording. Telvi would like to invite all of you to her inauguration. Let me get it played out. Let me take it from the beginning.
You will hear congratulations. You're in the glory of God. Congratulations. He has done it for you. And you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. God is good. Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that God is greater than that. Who can battle with the Lord? No, nobody. Who can change his mind around me? Through many years, in many ways, I have seen his faithfulness ever and ever. Yeah. Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God. Congratulations, he has done it for me. And I have come back with a new song to sing. My God is good. Yes, I will come again with a new song of praise. My God is good.
All right, we'll play one more time. Let's go one more time.
Yeah. Congratulations, you're in the glory of God. Congratulations, he has done it for you. And you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations. 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 Say what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations. God is good. Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that God is greater than that. Who can battle with the Lord? No, nobody. Who can change his mind around me? Through many years, in many ways, I have seen his faithfulness ever and ever. Yeah. Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God. Congratulations, he has done it for me. And I have come back with a new song to sing. My God is good. Yes, I will come again with a new song of praise. My God is good. Congratulations.
Well, let me exit here really quick.
Congratulations, you're in the glory of
Okay,
God.
now we got to the hard part.
Congratulations, he has done it for you. And you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise.
Okay.
God is good. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
For some reason,
congratulations. See what the Lord has done for
give me a
you.
second here, guys.
Congratulations.
This is still in the back.
God is good. Them say that.
All right, sorry about that. For some reason, the computer is freezing. We haven't even gone to the show yet. Today the show, today the show will be noisy. Just so you know, the show will be noisy today. The show promises to be very, very noisy and super. Yeah, I can tell you that one. The show will be super. Far away. The show today, we're discussing everything. Everything is on the table today. We're talking about everything as usual. Yeah, so the show will be noisy. But let's jump into other news because in other news, we'll play the other video. You know now. We gotta bring other news. That one, but we'll leave it here. We gotta bring other news. We'll play the other video. In other news, the United Party, the banjo in the party, yeah. The United Party, my banjo, Jose Yuma Boaga spot. So that means if you get your $7,000 or more, you can contest JMB for that spot. I tell you. Anybody have call, they can join that race. Right now, I speak to you. Your hammer just call you get a 7G or more. You can chauffe it and you can create zero yo-yo. Trust me. So now you get small cash, you pay a B. You contest the standard bearer position. And you get yo-yo too, you get hammer, you get small cash. JMB get to. I ate it. I had JMB get in the water. The United Party decided to banjo the whole party. In West. They banjo in the whole party. But like I said before, I told you before, the United Party no ain't going anywhere. But now sumo wahala. And that's more noise coming. And the convention coming, it will be noisy. The convention will be noisy. Then they go banjo again. They just open all the spots. They fall down inside. But that one, that part of the other news. In other news also, we told you about Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence and the Liberty Party. We told you about how they fall down inside, how the Liberty Party fall down inside, the move that Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence made. We told you it was not a good move from day one. On the same show, some people up until today, they don't. This thing is freezing. I don't know. Somebody, y'all can hack this show yet today. Yeah. Y'all can bring noise on this show yet today. Yeah, Naomi, you're right. The United Party, banjo, the whole party, they get buy one, get one free. No, that one, everybody do it, buy one, get two free. They just waste it. And me, I'm going to contest for the Secretary General seat for the United Party. And when I go in there, I'm making my hair curly. And yes, I give my hair a few done. I'm making my hair curly more and more. My hair will be real curly. Yeah. Then when I shove it, then the more Ali says I will gain something, then you will vote for me too. That I will throw monkey rings in there. I will give more Ali something. First of all, I will pay my own money for the Secretary General's part. Then I will get more Ali something, then you will vote for me too. You see it? That the whole level right there. Now our position, the whole Secretary General seeing the United Party, I become Secretary General. I hate it. Then one of the people that get hard and like yo been in America, yeah. Just carry them and pay them 7G plus. They put Joseph Baga situation again, handle. Just bring yo. Joseph Baga can turn in that noise. Just put that kind of paper and let noise and let grandma pay a thing. Get a whole United Party, the whole crew, get a small thing. You know, vote for him too. Like, hey, just throw Morgan Regions out. Will be the leader of a United Party that there. Like, yo, like how we tell what I said, oh God, the men are falling inside. They falling inside. They falling inside. You're laughing. You'll be laughing. We were no. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, are contesting. I'm not linking to what Liberty Party again from today. Are contesting for United Party the General Secretary. What? I'm moving in with four. And I finish saying I'll make my hair carry. Inside, I keep my hair. I throw in cares inside. Just make it like that. Then when I finish with it, I make it carry my own. Be carry more than what he name more Ali because in America got the rear curves, the one that can make it look really really curly. I'll make it. Let me talk to the labrador. I'll make it curly more than more Ali. Then I can't get more Ali something. Then he vote for me. Then we'll see who is who. Y'all will see. I will contest for that Secretary General position. Then JMB patron Sonny on somebody. One higher paper from here. Like, hey, tell me the whole thing. But let's move to the Liberty Party in other news. The Liberty Party situation they can handle. We're laughing, we joke about some of these things, but in all actuality, and to be quite frank, we alerted, we warned Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence to pay that due. If some of you can recall. Based on that, some members of the Liberty Party who we have good relationships with, some of them even stopped speaking to us and stopped talking to us because we stated the obvious and the facts. We saw this thing coming from a distance. Now, let me tell you something. You can blame Musa Belede and say, oh, Musa Belede don't want to tell what the people party Musa Belede. But let's be honest, though. You can't be the political leader of the party and refuse to pay your due. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to be up to date. And so today, the same thing we talked way back there, it coming today. Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence wrote a letter to the NEC. According to them, they signed the document. They did an update or whatever it is and sent it to NEC. Now Musa Benede is coming back and saying to the public and saying to the NEC that they cannot accept that. And the reason they cannot accept that is because of the fact that Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence is no longer the political leader. She was voted out. She was kicked out of the party. She's a member. In other words, in Labro, who says she's a floor member. Don't say it that way. You see where the noise going? You see the thing that could have been averted, the thing that could have been prevented, the kind of noise. I said this thing over and over. My old man, Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence, listen to me. Pay that money. Pay that money so he can hold you in front there. But we're not in Liberia, so we don't understand Liberian politics. They've been there for a long time. They're political genius and so forth. So that either, yeah, my God, you say my old man, I put that government boom. I don't know why you're saying that, but this is a tough situation. This is a tough spot. It's a tough spot. How does she get from that point now? And mind you, the Supreme Court backed the chairmanship and the leadership and recognized that we read the Supreme Court ruling to you here that came down June 28th, less than a month ago. In that Supreme Court communication, Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence, Jacob Smith, and Steve Zago, they were termed as former leaders of the party. Former leaders of the party. So that means that it there. That it right there. It's a serious problem. It's a serious problem. It's a serious problem. We keep saying it, but y'all will not listen to it. But in other news, before we get to the musical break and share the show, I don't know who the Mago person. Don't bring noise here today. I beg you. Don't bring noise here. Anybody that want to run on the United Party, they wasted a banjo, the United Party, a banjo, is open. Even Jonathan, you want to see that you want to contest for it, you can contest for it. It's open. They wasted Huawei. They wasted Wasa. And I feel tell you the position I'm contesting for. I want the Kelly hair position. And the position me I want. Thank God I want that light skin versus light skin. We inside. We inside fire for fire. I joining United Party, whether you like it or not like it. You will like it. I join United Party. I beg you. I went to that position. The things that were stupid in the player. All of us will be in the Labron Party. I went in that position. That Kelly hair position that Amy I want. I beg you. Yeah. Then when I get more, at least one thing to involve me, it just meriting the low super. My way just shiny, it just easy. We inside. The road to 2023 very shaky. Yeah, a rocket shaky, and we'll be there. We'll be in the town. The party not offer, so I say the banjo, the party. I don't want to say the banjo. I won't be Secretary General. Hey, Alabrin, the party. What did happen now? Alabrin, that thing what the Senate passed. Because one of my men texting me here talking about, oh, you know, and then the pronoun part dual citizenship. I'm not on your dual citizenship talk. I'm not on your dual citizenship talk. I'm a bona fide Labrador from Lofa County, Mampa. I'm not on that thing, yo. I'm not on that thing. I come into the United Party thing, I was stronghold at Lofa. Right now, we're looking someone away in Lofa. Yeah. You know what the news said yesterday? All the beam of the United Party made. The certificate there, Councillor Jala. Councillor Jala, congratulations to you. Yeah? Congratulations to you. The certificate there, you. And the Lord are the law. The Lord are the law. And to the United Party people that say people can celebrate, people who, you know, I'm not in no opposition. I'm not part of your opposition foolishness. I'm not part of it. So that it there, you'll be on your own. But let's get to the other news really quick. Our guest is here. Let's get to the last other news. We got a surprise guest. And our surprise guest too from Lofa County. So that today we just west. Lofa County with that west. We west. And the funny part about it, this surprise guest from Lofa County, then from Mark County to anywhere I go and follow me, that uncle and nephew now. So we inside. So remember last Monday we're on this same platform and we're telling most of you that the spoon talk, and we specifically alluded to the ANC people. I see you're passing around, you couldn't forget. Y'all be the next victim. I told y'all be the next victim. Y'all watch and see. I told y'all, stand on with a spoon talk, all the men that so scared they all. They're not in no Labrampo interest. They're not on that level with y'all. Y'all leave. that thing. Nobody's stupid yet. You leave it. We know what's up. Yeah. No disrespect, but we know what's up. So Spoon Talk decided to take on members within the CDC. And they wanted to run. They want to run. They remember one of the but why you wearing that white shirt? You not give me the white shirt. What is going on?
Wash.
So the white shirt, Benny, wait.
No, not the white shirt, but wash here.
I get problem with you and tell me. So they share Benny, what you get now? What you take trouble with? So that when you eating iron ryan for?
I want you to wash.
Or you want position in the unity party too?
I just want you to wash.
No, I suspecting you. We position you want because me a secretary general. Me are going for one position you want.
You know, I want to show you. I want to show you my muscle. I'll also show you SKTV.
I'm looking at the SKTV one at the position. Me are looking at which position you want because it waste. You buy one, you get two free.
Let me. I come in some vanilla party on.
Okay, no problem. But Mr. Kenneth, welcome to the show.
Yeah, what's up, VP? Where now?
What?
VP, how you tell like the party so? Your heart look like the party heart.
The man, I hear say the man looking for yeah. The news I hear, Mr. Patrick, even though we from Lofa County and Mike Bibo, the news I hear, it look like you looking at it, you look at the stand-up barrel ship.
They can't afford the money to apply. You see that application?
No. You gotta understand one thing. I think it is the right of the guy to raise money. So the deeper package you have, the opportunity you have to contest. Do you know the guys at the Librarian Center, they are doing the same thing with also represented, they have increased the money. But what I wanted to really find out, what it is a law, because sometimes some constitution, it is stipulated clearly.
Exactly.
Why is it that they just, the money just claiming? I think it must be a law. Every constitution, if you are contesting for this position, this is the amount you're supposed to pay. Okay.
Let me hold you there first. Let me hold you there because I want to clear this thing out so we can get to the actual show, guys. Please. Can you give me just 1 minute, please? Let me clear this thing out, please.
Go ahead.
And then both of you can do your thing. Y'all have the time to have this conversation in depth. But in other news, we told you guys on Monday that the Spoon Talk. Listen, no enemy, no hard feelings, no jealousy. The facts are the facts. We told you. And I'm saying that again for the record on SKTV. ANC people bouncing around. You are the next. Watch and see. These guys, they have their plans. They don't care about you. They don't care about Labrampo. They don't care about all that thing they're doing. They don't care about oppositions. These guys coming after you directly and indirectly. All the things you see them doing this week, this entire week, we predicted it on Monday. That's exactly what they are doing. But in all honesty, some opposition members in the legislature took money as well. We might toss it. We probably not care about that political thing. We want political offer. The only political offer I want is Secretary General of the Unity Party. But they look for the wrong person in CDC. You don't want to mess with Solomon George. You don't. So Solomon George gave a rebuttal to them. I want you to listen to a few seconds of it. And right after that, we get to the show. Today, we're not taking a musical break. While we are there, please help us to share the show. It's loading, please. Come on. I don't know why my internet taking forever today. We'll give credit to Samasi. He always, having different videos and stuff on. But let me get Solomon George here really quick. And right after that, we're getting to the show. Let me share this. Give us a second. Listen to Solomon George. For some of you who never had the opportunity, listen to it. Please listen to him just for a few seconds. I don't know why my stuff.
What's the matter with Solomon George? Is the video you're gonna play for him?
Yes, I want us to please. Yeah, I want to play a video for him. Okay. Solomon George did put it in situation again. The Spoon Talk. He erected the necessary checkpoints. What her name also Swakoko Dennis did similar thing. I'm looking for this video.
I partly listened to her.
Oh man, I hope this is the right.
Okay, I'll drink my tea while you're trying to get
Yeah,
it.
give me a second. Let me find this. Let me find this thing. I don't know why this thing is acting slow today, but give me a second, guys. My internet is acting very, very slow. For those of you who say we get Kumi's money or Kumi's paying us, then the internet is slow. So ASC people, what thing you're doing now? They can be causing you every day or they say this and that. You're make it happen now because our internet in here. But give us a second. Let me get this video rolling quick.
But why
Please.
you taking so long, my man?
Yes, my man,
All right.
my internet, guys. Please bear with me. Please and please. Just bear with me for a second.
But what Solomon just say? You can tell us. If
No,
you
I
get the video,
want your ear for an mouth.
okay.
I want your ear for an mouth. Just wait. Simon Jordan, the man, that kind of man you don't want to mess around with. Simon Jordan, don't fool around. You don't come around with that nonsense. The man who can fight in the House of Representatives, the man who can fight them, and they cost each other parents in the House of Representatives. I kind of man you want to be messing around with. Leave that too.
I met I said on the video the last time say they should opinion smoker in the place.
Leave that thing. That man
Can I hear?
the man been rolling for day one. I know that. I don't know the man now. I beg you. That
BP,
man,
you see, Vanilla Patrick just proved to me that he got a.
But Mr. Connor, can you please play for your side because mine is taking forever.
I'm not
sure
even
what's
seeing
on.
it. I don't even know the video he's talking about. I don't have
I
it.
just sent a video to you. Check your inbox, please.
Okay, let me check.
I beg you.
Okay,
check. I think I got it here. Let me see.
Okay. All right.
Oh, the man using Seligbe now.
Business before, no, during the Ebola time, he helped my area with some rice, some buckets. He helped me. We worked together.
Let me go back to the beginning, please.
Spoon TV.
And then enlarging it too.
During the Ebola time,
Yeah, hold on.
he helped my area with some rice, some buckets. He helped me. We worked together. But I've noticed
The COVID or Ebola?
COVID. Yeah, the COVID period. But I've noticed that they have some ulterior motive. Those guys want to sit where we sit. So they are coming, some of them coming through radio now, television, and acting. But I don't blame them. I blame, some of our slave masters we have here who paying them. So if you paying them, you paying money to Spoon TV, I'm calling you slave master. You are there giving them money to undermine this government. They are not helping this government. Gentlemen in the studio, ladies and gentlemen out there, I want you to listen and listen rationally. During the war,
Enlarging in our chief.
somebody like former General Bodnik and Major Blady can call, but there are other people who can tell you that during the war, I was here cleaning carcasses from the roads, feeding people. So I have been holding this ground a very long time before these angels of death or birds of the serpent, now the dragon, come here to act as if, they are saviors of Liberia. That other lady who says she holds a PhD or master degree who sits on that Spoon TV, if she insults me anytime again, because this is an insult, you lie on me. It is written in the Bible, these 6 things that the Lord hates, yea, the 7th is an abomination. The first one is said, as Proverbs 6:16. The first one is said, a proud look. The second one, a lying tongue. They lied on me. The recast budget was passed. It was passed without some of us knowing what was happening. So I said in the chat room, the recast budget has been passed. I want my benefit. And those wicked people, those fools, those foolish people not being wise, not being grammatically inclined, they misinterpreted, I want my benefit to be kickback. What is a kickback? You can define kickback, or you take the dictionary right here. Define kickback. I say I want my benefit. Rogers, this government is owing us from the 53rd, because it is administrative continuation. From the 53rd, they are owing us benefits. But this particular setting for this year, we are being owed This is the 4th month for lubricants, gasoline, other issues, our district development fund. So if I request for my benefits, you tell me I'm asking for kickback?
I'll accuse you of that.
Kickback.
Yes.
And this is the
Chambers.
okay, the Chambers Dictionary and
Thesaurus.
Kickback. a part of a sum of money received that is paid to someone else for help or favor already received or to come, especially if this is illegally given.
Yes. So my benefits are illegal. Are my benefits illegal? What I'm supposed to receive that is documented, is it illegal? Let me tell you people something. Whether school wants to run, he's looking for a district to run or a county to run. I'm inviting him, or the 4 of them over there, or the 5 of them who spoke ill of me. Those who never spoke ill of me, I'm not speaking to you. When I misuse any word here, I'm speaking to those who spoke ill of me.
Take your time.
Yes. If you want to come and run, I'm inviting you. Come, we'll find a partner here for you. You will come and rent it. You sit there and you can't run against me. But don't lie on me. Don't misuse words on me. English 101 reading comprehension is the topic. I said I want my benefit. This government is owing us. But guess what? I don't even want to go there. There are ministers here, they have cleared their gasoline already for July. If you don't be careful in August, we are still being owed 4 months. Then you say I shouldn't ask to my benefit. Where is the kickback I'm asking for? Let me tell you something.
Although, George, somebody said, we know Honorable George, he doesn't mince his voice. So since you're in the public space, everything you say now, they don't want gossip. Who are those people, ministers, according to the text? Who are those people who have received?
I said the ministers, the executive branch, they have, let me tell you something. You know, I don't want to cause commotion in this country. It's what these hypocrites are looking for. But I can tell you that the finance minister has gotten his gas already for July. So what about me? Right now,
You said ministers.
and listen to me. I've given you 1.
Okay.
I don't have to give you 2, 3, and 4, and 5.
No, because you said.
Okay, I the minister of state there.
Okay, Nathaniel Bongi, the president.
McGill.
No, but somebody said, I know, but then, let's go ahead. Go ahead, Uncle George. Go ahead.
No, man, stop joking.
I'm not joking, but the name is Bongi.
No, I don't know you to be Bongi. I don't know you to be Bongi.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, they have gotten theirs. Is it wrong for me to request what is rightfully mine?
No.
So, as Spoon FM, I just want to warn them. To be frank, I was coming here this morning. I was coming to misuse words on them because it's like this. If the mother was a harlot, the daughter will be a harlot. If the father was a thief, the son will be a thief. Maybe Weatherspoon's father was a thief, so he has to be a thief.
Take your time, Honorable George.
You know?
So in short, the benefit you spoke about in that text is your legitimate benefit
But they are legitimate.
as lawmaker,
Yes.
and not bribery to pass the budget.
But that's okay. So if it is bribery, will I?
Okay,
Did I go public?
let me just go further. There's another definition. A kickback is a sum of money that is paid to someone illegally.
Yeah.
Okay, someone to arrange for the company to be chosen to do an important job. Alleged kickbacks in illegal party financing, synopsis, bribe, payoff, backhanding, okay, entitlement, or
So forth, so on,
so forth, so on.
So listen, my benefits are not illegal. My benefits are documented. The first law of any government is called the budget. My budget, the budget must carry my benefit. That is why I was emphasizing, seeing this 41 million has been done, what is happening with our benefits? I'm even requesting now and even demanding my benefit from the 53rd. Just imagine in the 54th, in the 5th sitting, you are owing me 4 months. Then you say I should not ask. I beg you, Weatherspoon, If I knew where you live, after this one, the next one you do it, I come into your door with government toilet and feces to waste on your gate and beat up on you and whosoever will be in that house there. You must be careful when you talk about me. When you come in to talk about me, you must talk about me with credence, with proof, with reality. I've been taking care of Nigerian people before your pa and your mom.
We'll leave it there, folks. We're not going to that part. We're not going to that part. We have to leave it there for now. Well, that was one of the representatives, a CDC representative, by the way. We got to be clear on that. But guys, there'll be no.
So this is the CDC version of Yeka Koluba, correct?
He is ruthless. I'm telling you,
this one says a lot about Liberia.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, sometimes we may laugh about these things.
Yeah.
But people like this not supposed to be in a House of Representatives.
No.
It's a shame to Liberia. As a matter of fact, the so-called salary or benefit he's talking about, it is shameful that Liberian legislators will be talking about gasoline money. Government should pay for your gasoline. Government should give you car. Government should pay for your housing. Government should pay for your cell phone bill for doing nothing.
Yeah.
It is shameful. I don't know exactly what he's trying to say. Whatever he's saying about Witherspoon, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care about what he says. Because we are in the history, we are on the media, whether social, print media, or on the radio. We will say things that people will not approve, people will not be happy about, especially when it comes to corruption. But all in all, whatever Witherspoon have said to him or about him, the fact that they are even grumbling about getting benefit, talking about gasoline, when people are suffering, the most wealthy country in the world, they don't pay for gasoline for their representatives and senators. They don't pay for their cell phone bills. It's a shame. And Ellen and all the people that started this thing here, shame on them. Big shame on them. So I think the conversation today, I don't know when you would like for us to start the actual conversation.
Yeah,
but we listen to Solomon George. I just see him as one of those rude, arrogant,
disgruntled,
and ignorant or human being that is fortunate to be in the House of Representatives. Honestly, these people are not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
they're not qualified. You can even hear from the man the way he talks. It's shameful. It is very shameful and embarrassing. So I don't know. Maybe we can talk about something better.
Yes, before we get to that, I want to lay the context to this really quick, and maybe Vandela can say something just for the next 1 or 2 minutes, and we'll get to our conversation and dive into it. I'd oppose anyone insulting anyone, especially going as far as insulting people's mother.
Yeah,
father. It's
calling my parents' name. That's not.
It's off limit. What politics or not politics? This is not a joking thing. Especially like you said, being a sitting representative, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's absolutely wrong. But here are some of the issues that prompted this noise. Here are some of the issues that prompted this noise. Somebody screenshot from the House of Representatives. This is where the problem is.
Chat room.
They have a chat room. But then people will screenshot messages from there and send it to these guys and start giving them talking points. This is problematic. It speaks volume of the House of Representatives, the security in the chat room, and so forth. And the biggest question that has been asked now is, what is the purpose of people doing that, though? What are they trying to prove? What are they trying to say? But I will leave it there because these are interesting things. And again, as you can see on the headline, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you joining us, share the show. As we've said, the road to 2023 is shaky and it is rocky. But Vandela, Mr. Patrick, you've been away for a while. Welcome back to SKTV. You look all United Parties suit up in your regalia.
Oh no,
But
this
then
is
you know
my
that you voted for.
this is my Gibi Kante
Surprisingly.
color. This is
My
it
man,
represents
bro.
growth. This is not a rooster color that you know about. You know the characteristic of a rooster. You know it can get tired eating. So this is not the color of the UP. But it's very good to be back. I was on the ground and preparing myself and educationally and politically. So I am back, and you guys are doing a very great work. I see a lot of transformation. I see Sekou now growing muscles. I don't know who he wants to scare. I see my man
Don't come me to show my muscle to you.
his skin is very appealing now. I don't know whether it's a
I can show
marketing,
my
but
muscle Google now for you.
yeah, you know, the guy every time I call him, the man is in the gym, but it's good, you know. Every time you exercise increases.
I just came from there.
Yeah, your lifespan, you know. I was looking at you, I thought it was Kobe Bryant, you know. If you look at it technically,
See,
people who look at it, Kobe Bryant or the late
and,
Mamadi Diakite, you know.
and some people call me Michael Jordan too.
Yeah, so I mean that's good. I'm getting jealous. I think I need to hit the gym. But gentlemen, quickly, you just mentioned something. I listened to Solomon George. You just said something about people taking screenshot and sending it to people. One person I don't advocate based on what people tell me. I'm more by my own conviction. I think what we face in our country is confidentiality. Nowadays, even when you are talking to a brother on the phone, you are a friend. In as much as I don't support the insults, but whoever that did that, you know, to take a screenshot from members of the House of Representatives and bringing it in the public, you know, that person undermines the true essence of confidentiality. It doesn't make sense. And I think people should be condemned and we should rebuke these people when they engage in this kind of thing. We should not pretend, because the more we pretend, the more we give people the audacity to go ahead and do a lot of things. So for me, I don't encourage that. Another thing that I personally just want to touch on before we go into our talking points. You see, like Sekou mentioned, that some people don't deserve to be in the House of Representatives. But again, my brother, the main one in the district, Mosorado County, hosts the intellectual class, the academicians, the civic actors, the best brains are situated in Mosorado because that is the seat of government. And he won overwhelmingly. We should be asking ourselves, what has gone wrong that certain individuals are preferred over certain individuals? Something must be fundamental. It is unprecedented to see people winning election. Mosorado, the home of intellectuals, where you have all the radio stations, and somebody coming from there to win. This is the second time. So the problem is not about the individual. The problem is the psyche of the Liberian people. Until we launch a robust civic education to teach our young people how to elect leaders, Liberia will remain like this. We don't vote based on platform. We don't vote based on assessment of the characters of the individuals. Do a statistical analysis. Most of our high schools, they don't go through democratic elections. No party politics. For example, Cardinal University, where I graduated, they ban party politics. If you have party politics, even before you become standard bearer, you have to go through a scrutiny process. But when there's no party politics, somebody just wake up one day and want to run and spend a lot of money, they win. So that idea comes on the national scene. What do you expect? So this is a chronic problem that we have had, and it's going to go for a long, long time, my brother.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Mr. Patrick. I think we should jump straight into the conversation here today. Based on the conversations that we like to have, thank God we're able to secure the services of Mr. Kane, Sekou Kane, and Mandela Patrick. First of all, I want us to discuss the trending issues, such as the current budget as part of the propaganda aim of the government or so forth, whether to undermine the oppositions or some member within the CDC, talking about the 30,000, including whatever Senator Darius Dillon, Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, and other senators from the opposition bloc, and also the House of Representatives, just the legislature in total. My question to both of you is, what is your take? What have you heard? What do you think about this? And what's really going on? Let's hear from you.
For me, let me just start. We already know that the CDC is rotten to the core.
I'm grabbing my charger, so I don't want the computer to go off. So you'll be talking quick.
That's fine. CDC, people believe that they are rotten to the core. That is the known perception. Our opposition brothers that we felt could change the narratives are quiet on certain issues, and it hurts. The budget preparation starts with the executive. It comes to the national legislature. It is perused as a sitting representative or senator. You will see what the executive branch of government has prescribed. They bring it to your attention to peruse. You can increase or reduce. And sometimes you put what you want to see. Because the budget preparation, mind you, they have the budget office at the national legislature. The legislature will make their own budget, pass it through the budget office, that will also submit what the national legislature wants to see to the executive. The preliminary budget preparation, and the executive will go and look through that and prepare, do a draft, and send it back to the legislature to review. Now, in this current budget, you have $3,600,000 for something they call engagement, legislative accessibility. As a certain senator, as a certain representative, in my mind, is someone that is in the interest of the Liberian people. That individual must be in the best position to come out and say, but this thing is wrong. Police, it is unnecessary for us to have in the budget legislative engagement or accessibility when we are already being paid some 15,000 United States dollars annually to perform this same work. And mind you, under our constitution, it is illegal, specifically Article 90. It is illegal for a public official to take pay 2 times. So if we gave the legislators or the lawmakers $3,600,000 for legislative engagements and accessibility, and at the same time pay them $15,000 monthly for the same purpose, legislative engagement and accessibility, that is a violation of our constitution. But I felt bad that this debate is coming out. It should not even be out at this time. The opposition lawmakers should have stopped the infusing of $3,600,000 for legislative engagements and accessibility from the initial stage. They didn't do it. And I'm hearing this argument, nobody take money, I didn't take money, but why did you budget it in the first place? Why was it infused in the budget? Are we saying that no lawmaker saw it? Okay, the lawmaker that did not take the 30,000, why did they sit there and allow $3,600,000 to be infused in the national budget for legislative engagement and accessibility? If they know that it was wrong, why did they speak? I'm not concerned about them taking money. But you sat there and they said, this is what we'll do. Why didn't you say that? So when I see people throwing accusations, you took 30,000. No, I didn't take 30,000. But you sat there when the budget was passed. Why didn't you speak out? So, I mean, this is where I stand. It is said that don't blame yourself where you fall. blame yourself where you stumble your foot. And this is the beginning. I hate deception, and I don't let people to intellectualize corruption. Right now, even if the person doesn't sign, you don't have proof. But I have a proof because the bottle was in your hand. I have a proof because you went to plenary to debate. I have a proof because the bottle you signed for it to be approved. The fact that you affix your signature for it to be approved, or you say, yes, I vote that this budget be passed, without removing the 3,600,000 for legislative engagement accessibility, it means you conspire against the Liberian people to dupe us. So this is where I stand. This was spoken. It is not where whether somebody take 30,000, 50,000, they had the time to say this budget item should be trashed because we are already being paid $15,000. So why is it that we have to put 3,600,000 for legislative engagement and accessibility? What better accessibility? Do we pay lawmakers to come talk to us? Do we pay them for them to have accessibility to us? I think that was ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. And those who sat there and didn't say anything, and they are now saying, oh, I didn't take 30,000, I think they are all in the same category. Nobody should be excused from that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. First of all, Steve, I like this conversation. You know, I posted something after listening to Senator Dillon's deliberation, his press conference. I said, after listening to Dillon, I said that in as much as I didn't like the level of arrogance in his voice, but I still trust him over Akala Gray and Samuel Tuet. Why I say that? I know very well, and I maintain that the CDC government, the CDC legislators, or CDC legislators, including Akala Gray and the other guys, they are not to be trusted. And I know very well that everything you can say about Dillon, but it is a proven fact that these guys, from the get-go, their mission has been to discredit Senator Darius Dillon, to make him look like one of them, to make him even make him look bad, so that that culture of corruption that they are accustomed to, everybody should look the same. They want everybody to be criminal. Since the CDC government, from the executive to the judicial branch to the legislature, they're all criminal. Because of that, they want anybody coming in there to also be criminal. So that way they can all be in equilibrium, so that they're all equal. Everybody is the same. Everybody is criminal. Everybody can steal. Everybody is corrupt. So when it's their voice, this Dillon's voice, I trust Dillon over them, because this is what they have been doing. And in this particular case, I understand whether you receive the money or not receive the money, but we were made to believe that the $30,000 will not be infused into the budget any longer. So if it is infused in there, that's a problem. That means they betray the Liberian people. That's the fact. However, if they are engaged in a criminal act, it is shameful for them to celebrate themselves, celebrate other criminals, and just point finger at Dillon. And the reason for that is because they want to make Dillon to look bad. You can have all your disagreement with Darius Dillon. You can have problem when he change voice on issues. But when it comes to putting Liberia first, when it comes to actually fighting for Liberia in terms of legislation, I'm not talking about other opinion or decision making, but in terms of legislation or making sure that the government go ahead and do her function for which they were elected for, Dillon is way better than anybody in the CDC. That's just the truth. Seditionists are the worst. They are just there to eat money. They are just there to to beat the drum behind the president, or to dance by the drum beat of the executive. As a matter of fact, Thomas Fala wouldn't go to section when there's money issue. Akala Gray, how many times Akala Gray have lied? He's a liar. He cannot be trusted. The people said clearly that Darrell Dillon received the money. They didn't say, oh, Darrell Dillon and everybody else signed for the money. They didn't say that. They said everybody in the legislature received $30,000. That's what they said. Which was the lie. Because Dillon came out and said, if you can prove it, that I have received any money beside my salary, I will resign today. Trust me. If these guys have anything to prove, but now that information will be flying everywhere. Whether or not they collectively approve the budget, that was not the argument. Vandana Patrick argument, I understand it. If they collectively approve the budget, then collectively they are all guilty of misleading the Liberian people, because they said they're not going to go there anymore. But pointing finger at Darrell Dillon, that Dillon did that, that's not even an argument. They are admitting for being criminal, for stealing from the Liberian people, but yet single-handedly pointing at one person. So, oh yeah, we all stole, but Dillon is guilty. That's a complete nonsense. If at all they can prove that Dillon actually took the money, if Dillon took the money, let him come up with a proof. They may say, I will resign. What else? What more Dillon want? So you can have all your disagreement about Dillon in the CPP issue, but one thing I will not do. Trust me, I don't believe in transfer aggression. Because I hate somebody for doing one thing, then I will go against you in everything you do in your life. That's not what I do. That's not how I operate. So I believe the CDC lawmakers lied on Dillon. If they have proof that Dillon received the money, let them bring the proof. But they got nothing. So my opinion on this particular thing, I didn't like the fact that Dillon should present himself as some kind of messiah, somebody with a key of the entire country to decide who to be elected, who not to be elected. That was being a little more arrogant on his part. As a matter of fact, when Dillon was speaking I, instead of we, I found that very arrogant, and that's not how a leader should speak. Dillon is not by himself, and Dillon did not win that election by himself. People make Dillon to win that election. We made Dillon to win that election. So for you to think that only him can make people to win in Monserrado, that's delusional. He's misleading himself. If Dillon believe that whoever hand he put up in Monserrado will win the presidential election, then he's lying to himself. That part I found it very arrogant and delusional. But on the issue of $30,000, I believe him. I believe what Dillon said. Whether or not he signed for it, but Dillon has not received money yet. If you think Dillon received the money, but whatever means, whether it's cash delivery to him, whether it's through bank account, whatever way it happened, come and prove it. They must say I did not do it. The guy who is the head of the Senate president say they didn't take money. Finance minister saying everybody in the legislature received the money. Senator is saying that. So where is the money?
Hold on, Vandela, hold on 1 second, please.
Yeah.
So
when you ask me, Steve, my take is, if at all that money is in the budget and they all accepted, that means they all betray Liberia and Liberian people. But to single out one person, oh, this person took the money, as if to say it's a good thing, you all did, but you only one person committed a crime. That's not fair to the law.
So for me, I like to take it from the angle of legal proceedings. I'm not concerned about these kinds of throwing accusations. Fundamentally, those who sat quietly and did nothing until the crime was committed, they are guilty of that act. For example, we all live here in the US. Assuming Fandela Patrick is involved in money laundering, and we live in the same house, and I'm transacting and I'm duping people, and I've been doing it for 10 or 15 years. You didn't say anything about that. And I live right in the same apartment with you, or all live in the same house. The day FBI lays hands on me, believe me, all of you guys will be penalized. The same treatment they will give me, they will give it to you. If I will go to jail for 10 years, you will go to jail for that same amount. Let's bring that to the national legislature. I do understand. And this is where we know how members of the legislature can receive their money. Some of them, they don't have to appear physically. They give instruction. Most of the money you see transaction that take place at the legislature, it will be very difficult for you to see signature. The guys operate like mafias. You know, if you wait for signature, you're not going to get that. I'm not also assuming that they don't take the money. For me, I don't have proof to that, like video camera and signing for the money, this and that. No, I'm not talking about that. But hey, the legislature has been at the center of controversy. The last time somebody, in fact, it became a new thing. Somebody came and said, "Oh, receive 15,000," and they justify. You know, Nyombli Kanga came and issue a press statement. We received 15,000. This is what we did. The other time, the lawmaker in the senator in Mike Gibby, Senator Nukwe office came up with the same information. We received 15,000. We use it to buy motorbikes, you know, for accessibility of our people. So people believe that when you come out and say we receive money, you know, it means you are transparent because you are the first to announce it. But hey, my thing here is a role is a role. There's no way to present it. If you sat there and decisions were made to rob the Liberian people of millions of dollars and you did not say anything, at this time, I will not want to listen to any clarification. Bishop Desmond Tutu once said, and I quote, they say, if you sit and you see the foot of an elephant on the tail of a small rat, and that rat is crying for mercy, and you say you are neutral, that rat will not appreciate your neutrality. The best area to fight for us is on the plenary of the Liberian Senate.
Okay.
DeLong was elected, and this is why, let me just say this before, you know, we can come in. DeLong has distinguished himself, and that's the reason why he won. So I don't want us to compare DeLong with the ruling party. For them, they already know they are in injury time. Our people that we presume will be the next batch of leaders to do things different from what others are doing. The reason why DeLong was elected, it was because the people in the ruling party were not doing the right thing. And he got our votes overwhelmingly. When he goes there, when he sees wrong thing, he should speak out, not to wait until the Liberian people money is stolen, and then people are now trying to clarify, I take money, you don't take money, I take money, you don't take money. The bottom line is, if you see your catfish coming from under the river and say crocodile is a rule, I don't have no reason to doubt. They are all there, and I don't want to say somebody is somewhere, but this thing should not have reached where we are. If somebody has spoken from the beginning that it made no sense for us to put this money in the budget, but now this whole thing is a their case.
Thank you. Well, let me infuse something to the conversation, and we'll move forward. First of all, there are two things happening here, and people want to confuse people. But let's break it down as to not be confused about this. The first thing that is happening here that people are trying to take people's attention from is the fact that there's this recasting of the budget that needs to be investigated as to why. What is this fund allocated for? Now, it should be recorded that the same CDC-led government, the executive branch of government, tried overnight to pass the budget. Swakoko Dennis, Representative Swakoko Dennis, the first person that blew that lamb was Yeke Koluba. Yeke raised contention. Now, it is clear here that some member of the legislative branch of government were compromised, whether you like it or not. They took the court. And most of them would be from the CDC side, the Unity Party side as well. We might talk so, we talk so. We're not yet to something. Some members of the opposition, the legislative branch of government, especially the lower house, is compromised. This is where the guys try to confuse us. This is where they try to throw monkey wrench in here to divert the conversation from us sticking with why this budget is being recast and why and where is this money allocated? Where is it going? This is a trick. The CDC is trying to pull something on us, the Liberian people, that we're not paying attention to. So you know what they did? They throw in this monkey wrench of confusion of this budget. That's why Spoon Talk brought Akara's grade. Even though the Monday before we had credited Akara grade for staying away from them for almost a year and plus because he was mad at them. Out of a sudden, they arranged behind closed doors for him to come on the show. When he came on the show, their plan now is to ensure that they stick this thing on Delon and other people. Let's be clear about this. We reached out to Delon yesterday. We reached out to Senator Delon yesterday to get his side of the story. Senator Delon was emphatic that he did not take any money. He did not take any 30,000. Here is what's confusing. Yes, the 30,000 is in the budget. It's not a hidden secret. It's in the budget. And it is, look, this thing is entitled. Then we'll talk about this budget as time goes by and break it down and bring other economists on here so that we can navigate through this thing. Let me give you the line and the thing what is entitled, because we're not about to sit around here and fool around. It's in the budget. Here is the question that is here now. It's in the budget. As long as the legislator go to vote and the majority agree, something has happened. They have agreed. So that means even if Delon and other people, that's why we want to see the voting record on this before they can present a recast as to who voted for this particular thing, because the thing must have been debated. As a matter of fact, it's in the budget this time around. It's not 30,000 anymore. It's 34,000, almost 35,000. They increased it by 4 or 5,000. It's not so determined now as legislative engagement and public accessibility. What does that mean? It's in the minds. So once the majority voted, they included everybody as everybody voting for it. It's under this code here at 0563. It's under there. So this thing of this being the budget, my question now to both of you, has this budget that they are recasting, that it says Senator Darius Delon took 30,000 again, have they already started distributing this budget?
So let me say this. This budget was...
Listen, before you say that, please listen to the question, I beg you. I want us to get straight to the question because we got a lot to cover here. Has this budget already been approved for the money to be distributed to the different ministries for them to start operations?
So let me just start. This budget you are talking about, it was approved on February 28th at 12 o'clock noon.
Right.
And submitted to the President of the Republic of Liberia.
Yes.
It becomes a law. It takes effect that day. As long as it is passed, it was passed on February 28th. Mind you, February 28th, talking about February, March, April, May, June. I'm talking about because right now we just entered July. 4 months ago. So we're talking about 4 months ago.
Yes.
So at the time that budget was passed and signed into law by the President of the Republic of Liberia, that same day, the spending starts. So we can conclude that as of February 28th, by 2 p.m., the spending started. Because
so are you saying, hold on, let me hold you there. Are you saying the finance minister, Samuel Tuwa, he posted that they sign, each senator signed for this money and took this money, the finance minister is right?
Well, I don't want to believe what a lawmaker sign, but when a budget item is placed in the budget, and the same people the finance minister is talking about, they go in the plenary of the Liberian Senate to vote, and you can't tell me that one senator refused to vote. No senator refused to vote in favor of the budget. They voted. When you vote to say I vote for the approval or for this budget to be signed into law, it means every budget item within that budget, you agree that the government can proceed to disburse the money wherever it was appropriated. No senator voted against the passage of this budget on condition that certain budget item has to be removed, and if it is not removed, they will not vote for it. They voted and the budget was passed. Technically, I can tell you that the finance minister might be right, because he deals with the leadership of the Liberian Senate, not individual lawmakers. Let's get that clear. So technically, he's right, because they gave him, the Senate or the House of Representatives and the Senate gave him the authority to spend the money, because the money was in the budget, and they gave him the authority to spend the money by voting for the passage of the budget. So technically, the finance minister is right to say all of them received the money, because all of them voted that the money, 3,600,000, should be placed in the budget for legislative engagement and accessibility. That's why it speaks.
Let me hold you there, please. Before Sekou comes in, let me hold you there really quick. Yes, they are all guilty by the fact that majority have voted for the budget. When majority votes, that means it's a concurrent. And sometimes you have no power, you have no, even if you voted against it, all of you take the blame.
No. When you vote against it, you are exonerated.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I said earlier on.
No, you will not take the blame. I want you to understand, you will not take the blame. If somebody said they said 3,600,000 should not be there for legislative engagement and accessibility, I will not vote, you will be exonerated.
So let's get this clear now. The first thing we need to establish is this. All of the senators, you are saying here today, all of the senators voted for this bill in totality, whether that the accessibility engagement, no accessibility engagement, all of them voted. Yes, and yes. All senators voted. Yes. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All 30 senators voted. That's what you're saying. And 29, because one of them was missing from Lofa County at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's move fast forward. The main question we have to pinpoint here is this. And we'll try to get Senator Darius DeLong to see how best he can come to clarify this thing. We understand from a layman's perspective that once it's voted upon, the money is allocated, or money disbursement starts, right? Great, because it's been 3 months given. I'm asking this direct question. Do you have any proof? Are you aware at any point in time that the senators, to corroborate Senator's point, that the senators did sign? Because even if the money is disbursed, if you don't go there to sign for it, you haven't taken the money. Given you agree, you can say, I think I'm not going to take it. But I'm saying to you, do you have any proof that he, Senator Darius DeLong, signed for this particular money? Because that's part of Akara's Gray's accusation. We want to be clear on this.
My thing is, I'm not Akara's Gray. I'm speaking from the position of public policy. When you mandate someone that go ahead and spend this money, and I agree that every budget item that we have seen and peruse, you can't tell me no senator did not have the time to look at the budget. They look at the budget item, they peruse it, and then they were certified that every budget items within the budget, it should be approved, and they went ahead and voted. Personally, I don't have proof that Senator DeLong signed and there is a document showing that this is a signature and he received $30,000. I have no proof about that. Secondly, I'm not Akara's Gray. Akara's Gray is a sedition and the lawmaker, he speaks for himself. But what I'm saying is this law should not have been where we are today, because when we saw that the government was proceeding in the wrong direction, and we wanted a robust activist at the Liberian Senate, specifically in the case of Senator DeLong, our own big brother, to go and change the narratives. What we expected was from the beginning of the budget preparation, when the conspiracy was being made against the Liberian people to rob us of millions of dollars, we expected somebody to be a voice. And that's why everybody looks up to Darius DeLong to speak out. And he has been doing that consistently. The question becomes, why didn't you talk from the beginning, Senator? Why didn't you bring this thing out? When the people were conspiring to take 3,600,000 equivalent to $34,000 for each lawmaker, you should have spoken so that you will be exonerated. You didn't do that. Not only that, when you voted so that the money can be disbursed. So if the finance minister say we gave them the money that every lawmaker signed, technically he's saying that Senate overwhelmingly voted for the passage of the budget, and this 3,600,000 was infused for them. In the mind of any financial expert, it means they have gotten it. So, mind you, it's also that some people have not taken it because of the noise. I had the time to work with the legislature before. Some people, they don't go there, they will wait. It is their entitlement. They can decide whether to take it now or to take it next year, but it's there. You understand? Like they send money in your account, like here in the US, 50 million, you know you not want 50 million. You say 130 FBI will touch me. So you'll be waiting 5-6 years, nobody talk about it. You can go to your 400,000. So many they are waiting, maybe 2023. That's when they will go withdraw the money and then they start to run their campaign. So we can't conclude to say nobody takes the money. It's their entitlement. Whether they can send it in their account, nobody knows. Nobody has out. You bring your bank account to see whether money has been deposited there or not. Because I know that this money, they send it directly to their bank account. They don't go to the legislature and issue check. Like their bank account, somebody send them over there and just send everything. So we don't know that too. So if we're looking for paper evidence, then it will be somehow critical. But technically, I can say the finance minister is right to say they all received the money because they all voted that the 3,600,000 should be disbursed for legislative engagement and accessibility, and they all voted for that. So as a financial expert, one will assume, well, you're receiving, but I have no evidence whether the loan signed for it or the money was sent directly in his account. I don't have proof for that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kane. What's your take on this particular part? Because this thing looks sticky. You are muted, Mr. Kane. You are muted. That thing looking sticky and shaky.
Yeah, you have Vanilla when you ask question two of us. Vanilla answer and then you ask another question. Yeah, now you're kind of confusing the whole thing now.
No, it coming back to you though.
Yeah, let me say this. But you guys talking and especially going at it back and forth a little bit, even make my position clearer. If the allegation from Akala Gray and the CDC people was every member of legislature signed for this money or approve this budget because the budget was approved by the legislature, including Darius DeLong, I will understand. But here's the thing. Before you even listen to an argument, look at the motive. The motive here is to make DeLong as criminal as the CDC people are. That's the motive. That's just the fight. Yes. Whether legal aspect, non-legal aspect, the political aspect, or for public sentiment and whatever it is, the idea here, the motive, is clear. The motive is because Darius DeLong put his mouth on them on the so-called retreat, so they got to say something to him to get under his skin, or even to distract people from that conversation.
Yes.
That's look at the motive in the first place. So if their argument was, oh, DeLong, you shut up, man. Everything going on right now, the budget that was passed with the $3.6 million, you all signed, you all approve it. That would make sense.
Right.
But to clearly state that every member of the legislature have received the money, including Darius Dillon, that means you have a tangible proof,
right,
that the money made it to Dillon's pocket or to his account. That was the impression that they put out there. That Darius Dillon, that every legislature they gave the money and they received the money, including Darius Dillon, making it to look like Dillon said the last time that he's not going to take the money. But now, as you're sitting right here, they may already get the money. Now, Dillon, for his part, coming out to tell you, because we know very well the money is not going to come from his car and just fall in Dillon's bag. Dillon either go somewhere in the House of the Senate to go sign for it and get it, or this money is being deposited in Dillon's bank account. That's the two way you can get the money. Since the money is legal, either go and sign for it in the office of whoever responsible in the Senate, grab your check, or the money will be deposited in your account. So let the finance minister go further and tell us when he said every member of the legislature received the money. That means they got proof that there was a deposit from the government's account to the account of those senators. Or if this money was generally given to the Senate to be distributed among themselves, that means Senator Dillon or everybody else will go and sign for theirs. That's how it works. The money not going to come from fall from the sky and just be somewhere. But when Dillon say, I, Darius Dillon, did not receive any money. If you have any account or any information, we're not talking about signature here. They may say, go to the bank. If the bank says they have deposited any money in my account other than my salary, you see, my thing is, I know, you know me very well. If this was a proven fact that Dillon received this money, I'll be going very, very hard on Dillon for lying, for misleading the people, for promising to do what is right and do the wrong thing. But Dillon is saying, if you have proof that you should give me the money, show it. If the argument was like, Dillon signed for the money, Dillon can say, no, I didn't sign for money. Oh, no, Dillon voted for it. Dillon will say, no, I didn't vote for the money. That one is totally different thing. From the legal point, Vanilla Patrick, you are 100% right. The fact that thing, if you voted for it, it passed. But this guy, their motive is not to make any legal argument here.
No.
The motive is to blemish the character of Dillon, to make him look as criminal as they are, so that people can say, you know what? Oh, yeah, you put Dillon there for nothing. Dillon is just like all the other people there in the Senate. That's the motive. And if the motive is ugly, you must come with fact to support it. Until CDC finance minister and CDC lawmaker can come out clearly and show me proof to say, hey, you said Dillon took the money. They didn't say Dillon signed for the money. They didn't say Dillon voted to approve the money. That's not what they said. They said Dillon received the money. So we don't want to change language here. So then that was the allegation.
But let's see what the argument.
They must prove that yes, indeed, Dillon directly or indirectly received the money in person. Yeah. This is not collective receiving money. Okay, you know what? By default, since the budget was approved and is in the legislative budget, automatically legislature received. Okay, assuming the money went to the legislature, but the money is with the legislature, but Dillon and other people there never took the money. And you come on and say, as far as I know, everybody in the legislature received the money.
No, but Sekou, let me just say something here.
We were talking about
hold on.
I was just saying that watching you talking. So when I'm talking, let me make my point. And people are here listening. So what I'm trying to say here is that I'm trying to say that these guys are not credible. That's a fact. Samuel Tour of all person talking about $30,000. This is the guy who told you that he misused millions of United States dollars from the Liberian people. and nothing happened. He was not investigated, he was not suspended, and nothing happened. You were listening to him because the CDC motive, in as much as the opposition are having problems among themselves, but their motive is to make Dillon as ugly as possible. For me, I don't care who Dillon support. I don't care who you support for president. But if people trying to make him to look bad, simply because you're trying to be good, I'll go against that person. That's the problem, Vandela and Steve. The fact that these guys, their motive is only to make Dillon ugly. It's not that they don't get it, they don't manage to really love Liberia. They say, you know what, oh, something happened, Dillon did something that undermine Liberia, economy, Dillon did something that corrupt the Liberian system, Dillon did something illegal. But that's not their motive. Their motive is because everybody says CDC is criminal, CDC is corrupt, and Dillon was elected to make it better. So they are fighting day in, day out to make sure that Dillon too is looked like a criminal. Similarly, when United Party people went against some Cummings, it was not because they believe Cummings is criminal. It was not because they believe Cummings corrupted anything. It was not because they believe that Cummings fingered any document. The motive was, since they said everybody in Liberia are corrupt, especially people in the CPP, all of them got some level of corruption scandal in the past, or like everybody is dirty, only Cummings is clean. So their motive was to make sure that they present Cummings as dirty as they are. Similarly, CDC, they were playing for the CDC playbook. United Party did the same thing, and we disagree with it. And now CDC doing the same thing, we would disagree with it. But if you want to accuse Dillon of taking something, have a proof. If you think Dillon received the money, show all the proof. You are the government. You are the one giving the money. Show all the proof how Dillon received the money, whether by the bank account direct deposit or the may sound for it. But until you can prove that, the motive is dubious. The motive is to make sure that this guy is a criminal just like us, and we're not going to buy into that. There were people that were buying into it, but we were not buying into that.
Vendela, hold on 1 second. I'll bring you in. Let's say who you're done, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just before Vendela comes in, I want to be clear on this thing here, because I have to agree with Sekou 100%. And that's why we have said openly to whether you are in the opposition or wherever it is, anybody or any group of people that decide to lie on somebody, that was somebody that accuse us as Cummings people, as Cummings men, as Cummings speaking, we will not stand for that. In the name of politics. No, it sounds funny, but we're not stand for that in the name of politics, because these things go a long way. You can't go and decide to come and lie on somebody's name, and you say that politics or that your politics we're doing. Why should we do that? Why? So I agree with Sekou, and we also said to the opposition members, don't take money from CDC. They will look for the perfect opportunity to expose you and make you look like them. CDC has not denied the fact.
And just a second, Steve, I forgot one thing I want to add.
Go ahead.
When we listen to, you spoke something about Spoon. You know me very well. I don't like to talk about other networks. You know that, right? That's just clear. Because there are a lot of guys there that reflect each other. I don't even like to discuss them. But Solomon George says something. As much as I believe he's crazy, the way he talks, I don't really know him like that. The few times I've seen him, I never seen him making any sense. But he says something that if you're citizens or if you're a member of Spoon, you need to be very careful with that. He's saying the people that he calls slave masters, he's calling the government official, including the president, that you are sponsoring Spoon, and Spoon doing something that will undermine you.
Okay.
That's what he said. Solomon just said that. And if Spoon people are listening, or they really listen to that guy, whatever deal they have with the government, if they don't be careful, is about to be exposed.
Mr. Kane, before Vandela Patrick,
that's what that guy is saying.
Mr. Kane, before Vandela Patrick comes in, somebody on Spoon that I respect and I care about, but I'm not afraid to criticize her when she does what is wrong. That Dr. Francine. Me and Dr. Francine have a relationship. She's a good person. But I'm not afraid to tell her to leave Spoon. These guys are dangerous guys. They are in play with the government. Y'all play around with these guys. Y'all play around with these guys. We keep saying this thing, you keep joking. If you listen to Swakoko Dennis carefully, she alluded to the same thing. They know exactly what the government is doing through Spoon. Who tell you they don't know? And the warning that they send, then they will go behind closed door and go talk. But Solomon Jordan, people might say he crazy. They see why they can say yeah, get crazy. But these guys know where the bodies are buried. He started off by saying, wait, Vandela, please wait. I beg you, we'll bring you in. He started off by saying, when the war was fighting, the other one were cleaning bodies and cleaning carcass and other things. Like the record he was giving people. That if you cleaning body, in other words, if somebody tell you say I was cleaning dead body or I was cleaning carcass, what they're telling you, other words, they know where the bodies are buried. See, why you can't bring body in there? Your thing was stupid. We not understand the code you're speaking. He tried to tell Spoon talk, say, I know exactly what's going on. You're fooling around with me, I will talk and I will come up. And he knows. He knows. But let me come back to the Dillon issue. The CDC has one major plan. That is to make members of the opposition to be equal in there so that everybody can say everybody in the country are criminals and everybody part of it. To agree with Vendela Pache's point, I think one of the strategic blunder Dillon made, and I will say it here, Dillon is a brother, he's a friend. I will say it to him. He should have esteemed for that bill. He should have never.
Well, let's see the voting record.
No, I'm just saying something. If he voted for it, he should have esteemed for it. The same way I say here, the dual citizenship bill, Dillon should have esteemed for that bill for voting for that bill to stay away. Because you don't want to always put yourself in a position too where you got to come to be clarified and be defending. Sometimes a tie rope on your neck too. You don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation. So to be honest, the CDC got one goal here is to make the opposition look funny. I will say it again for the last time. Anybody who take money from the CDC, you in the opposition, can't talk it now. Because your knee and your videotape them will roll. Watch and see. Vandela, what you have to say? You take money too?
No, I'm not a legislator. I'm not a legislative personnel.
No so you on record you not take money?
No, from the legislature, I'm not. I'm not.
No,
I have never. People who know me, that's why.
But how can you say from the legislature? You took from Twitter?
We're talking about legislature, right?
Forget legislature right now. Let's switch a little bit. Let's switch straight.
Let me talk.
So money of any kind, everybody knows my record. Since I've been in activism, there's no trace record of me taking money, especially from Unity Party. You understand? So, but let me just say this, right? Let me just sidetrack a little bit to bring something about when you stand for something, speak your mind. Yeah. I remember when I was leading a major protest in Liberia. One assistant minister called Robert Bestman, he was the assistant minister for internal affairs. He called, all the millionaires under the UP to Evelyn restaurant, but he made it to be like he was only going to meet me to discuss possibilities so that we can cool down the entire process. As a big brother, I respected him. So I went to Evelyn, we were eating. He said, but let's go in the VIP area. When I entered there, guess who I saw? I saw the entire United Party in the room. I saw one other old man, they say he the one used to go to the legislature and distribute money to the lawmakers. He had one cement area rare around Kiri Street. I saw the youth wheelchair who was the deputy minister. Amos Troy, he was in that room. I saw anyone you can think about. So right in the person, I said, but why you brought me here? Oh, Patrick, calm down. And some of them started playing on me like, I know you from somewhere. I say, hey, I'm not sitting in this meeting. This meeting was intended to set me up. And I don't like, right in your face. I say, I don't like what you did. You call me as a brother, and to talk, you brought me here. I slammed the door on there. You could see someone then jumping outside as if somebody were going there. What I'm saying here is, this thing, gentlemen, I want us to be sincere. That's why it would begin to shield opposition members and protect them when they do wrong. When they become president or they become leaders tomorrow, they will expect that what we are giving them now we should give it to them. That's why the CDC is totally disintegrated. They say party mandate. It means any public official in the CDC is not supposed to be criticized. Criticizing a public official, it means you are against the party. What we are doing here, we are trying to pamper them. We should not sue anybody. A crime is a crime. Chatelain was convicted on 2 counts, aiding and abetting. DeLong aided and abetted. We should speak out. We sent DeLong when the people were conspiring against the Liberian people. Why didn't he talk? He should have spoken. Gentlemen, we should develop the courage. They say open rebuke is better than secret praises. I agree. They not take money. I don't have a fact. And the minister are not even giving us the fact. But technically, and as a financial expert, one will assume if you give me the authority that I should go ahead and spend this money, and this money is for you, what do I expect to say? The blunder that most of these people make, and I want to agree, the CDC knows that they are writing. So they're looking for people to go in the hole with them. Because 2023, they are in injury time. The opposition will expect to distinguish ourselves. We should not be throwing corruption jabs. Who benefits? The government benefits. The opposition will not benefit. And this is where I get angry. You mentioned about Kumis. I think we should learn about what happened, in the situation of Kumis. I one person I said Kumis should not join no unity party because the UP was working politically born naked. Right after the defeat in 2017, they were totally disintegrated and they needed to be far away from the presidency. The only reason they got small strength because people like Kumis and other political parties came together. When you make your blow like this, the fist, it becomes very powerful. We say, Kumi, build your own brand. You could negotiate with other political party or Liberty Party and build your own brand. But now, we will not be disintegrated. So the point I am making is, Akami.
No, let me hold you there. Wait, before you go any further, let me hold you there, I beg you. Because in our mind that you are making a point, we have to be clear on something. So because Cummins or DeLong signed an initial bill, which we have acknowledged that if that is the case, that he signed an initial bill for the budget, he is absolutely wrong. Does that mean that somebody should come and accuse him of another crime or try to make him look like he committed another crime for the first crime, even though he committed an initial crime? Is that the right thing to do? So because Cummins joined the CPP, so they should lie on him too and say he altered the document, and everybody should sit around and say, yeah, he altered the document because he joined the CPP?
I come into that. Let's take it easy. In the case of Cummins, let me take it with Cummins. In the case of Cummins, it was a proven fact that the UP, that Cummins himself criticized. The only reason why Cummins contested the 2017 election because UP messed up. He described UP as a corrupt institution. And to see him going back to the same UP to form alliance, it was a compromise. And I personally say, Mr. Cummins, you are wrong. Because sooner or later, they will make sure that they rob you with allegations of corruption, and at the end of the day, you'll be strangulated. But a lot of people abuse me that I was not supporting opposition. I was against the opposition. I like credible opposition. An opposition that is twofold. If I lose, I'm going to lose on integrity. But not to compromise because I want power. I can't do that. And I felt that Cummins was contradicting himself. I spoke with my dear good friend, Anthony, how they call it? No, I'm talking about in the ANC, the former chief of office staff, Moriah. I said to Moriah, look, build a brand. Don't listen. A leader must be innovative and creative. Going to form alliance with the Unity Party that is currently working politically born naked. It will be a contradiction to what Cummins said in 2017. That the UP was corrupt and that the only reason why he was contesting to be president. Because they failed the country. To go and form alliance with them, it will not be a good thing. Sooner or later, they will pin him and they will present him as somebody who is not credible. They didn't listen. Guess what happened? Today, we see they are all scattered. Coming to the DeLong issue at the Senate. DeLong was elected because we knew the Senate was corrupt. We sent DeLong to the Senate to make sure that he stands his ground. In the preparation of the budget, it is not a secret thing. Every copy is given to an individual senator to peruse. DeLong saw a budget item, legislative engagement, and accessibility. He know that it's illegal because they are paid $15,000 for these kinds of operations, legislative engagement and accessibility. Under our constitution, it is wrong for a public official to withdraw from government covers twice. Article 90 to be specific. So we pay you for legislative engagement and accessibility. Why should we pay additional $34,000 for individual lawmaker to come and talk to their own people? It didn't make sense. DeLong didn't say that. Not only that, DeLong, during the preparation of the budget, everything was finalized. Every individual senator has to vote. DeLong voted in favor of the passage of the budget. And the budget has been signed into law. And there's no statement from DeLong as we speak that he did not vote in favor of the passage of the budget because he had a dissenting view on certain budget.
All right, let me gotten
that from there. Let me just conclude on that. So to come
I
here right now, who lose? We just try to intellectualize this thing. Who lose? Liberian people lose. We are the losers because nobody talked from the beginning.
Mandela, let me agree with you and strike a point here. Assuming that we don't know actually right now we don't know the voting record as to how DeLong voted on this particular budget. But for the sake of argument, let's agree that DeLong voted. I know very well that you can disagree on an attempt in a budget and can still vote because of, let's say, for example, if you have 10 things or 20 things in a budget that you agree with, but there's one thing that you don't agree with, you can express the disagreement on the particular line item that you disagree with. You can still vote. You can still express your disagreement on a particular issue or on a particular line item in the budget and still vote for that budget. I'm just assuming, I've not spoken to DeLong on this, but what I'm saying here is that the argument here that we are having today is not about who voted, who did not vote. It's about citizens trying to make DeLong to look bad by coming out and lie that DeLong received money, and when they have no proof, until they can provide proof to us, to the Liberian people, that DeLong actually received the money by signing for it in the Senate or by money being deposited in his account. Until that can be proven, we don't want to change the conversation. Where you taking it? That
no, I'm not. No, let me just come in quickly. We're not changing the conversation. We already know that the CDC, when DeLong went there, we know they were going to find ways to muddy him in the water, to make him look bad. We knew that from the beginning. That is at the back of DeLong's mind. That when he went to the Senate, the CDC was going to make sure that he does not survive. He does not succeed. So when you see the traps, he needed to be careful. So let us not dwell that the people want to make him bad.
I think DeLong being careful here.
No. He's not being careful.
100% careful, but I think he's being careful. DeLong was working on a very fine line. Let me tell you. No, if DeLong was not working on the fine line, DeLong would not be in that Senate today.
No. I know. What I'm saying
everything
is, you know why they are succeeding. They succeeded on his Liberty Party issue. They succeeded on so many things. In Lilo, sometimes you have to give listening ears. And we have to be honest.
Let's welcome Ansu. Ansu Dualu, welcome, my brother.
Thank you so much, Sekou, Steve, and my brother Mandela Patrick. Look, I want to say this. Let me lay this premise. Maybe something we are forgetting. Honorable DeLong cannot do the job of 103 legislators. We are putting a heavy burden on this man. He's doing his very best. DeLong's push is to build institutions in the country. The entire CDC, the entire machinery of the government has decided to go after DeLong for something that cannot be proven. This man has given you cash blind permission to go to any account in the country. Anything that's easily verifiable in the Republic of Liberia can be done through the bank accounts. Samuel Twe is not just a maniacal liar. Kara's grade, these guys' intention is to break. This is why I'm afraid of, Sekou. The reason why I asked Steve to come on, this is what I'm afraid of. The singular man, the one man that's trying to stand between the people, between community and chaos, we are trying to destroy him. We are not staying. Look, I don't care about Dillon personally, but I care about what Dillon does for the Republic and what Dillon's been doing. People say, "Oh, why didn't Fedela say why didn't tell Dillon didn't tell us?" Dillon tells us every single day. He goes live in the Senate. Everything that discussed in the Senate that is in full view of the public, he goes live with it. How much more do you want this man to do single-handedly? We Liberians just sitting by the wayside. We understand. And for that, I want you to understand something. Just because something is in the budget does not mean the person is going to get it. I will give you an example. Look at BWI. Look at all the budget allocations in the country. The government can give you 300,000. Maybe you can only receive 45,000. And in most cases, budget allocations are not immediately received. They are received over time. Now, I will concede one point of Benedetta Patrick, though. It may be in the budget, but there is no guarantee that it's been dispersed.
Exactly.
The point that will come out, even though I won't what Sekou said, we should stick to the point. This is a singular point we should stick to. It was about Dillon receiving money. It's not whether they don't vote for money or they don't do anything for money. Yeah. My issue here is we have to keep making sure people that are standing between us and the thieves and the criminals in the legislature, we are not willing to protect them. We cannot afford not to protect Dillon. This is my issue. Until Dillon's made some mistake, but the mistakes they don't have made, they're not society affecting to the level that the two of us are making. The president we are himself, the senior person in charge of destroying the entire country. We are not willing to attack him. We are worried about the single man in the legislature that's willing to stand before us. It's not acceptable. I just wanted to make that point, and I thank you so much, Steve.
And also, thank you. And also, I just stick around just for just 1 second. Let me just add this, and then Vanilla, you will come on. Let me say this. Sometimes, especially when there's an allegation, for the most part, the source of the allegation is very important.
Right.
That's why credibility comes in. Samuel Tua is not credible enough to question Darius Dillon in any way, shape, or form when it comes to finance. This is the man who has single-handedly destroyed the economy of our country. You know that man is talking about $30,000. But even us to have this conversation, that's what they want. They want the discussion should be about Dillon. They want you to believe that Dillon is corrupt. They want you to believe that Dillon is the one that is destroying the country. When it is the other way around. I just wanted to add that. I'm glad I understand exactly the point, because this particular discussion right now is not about what happened in the budget. They just want to portray or to speculate, to put an argument up there so the Liberian people can look at Dillon as a corrupt person. There's a liar. When it is the other way around.
So let me just say that you think that it's not about his son for money or not. A crime has been committed. Someone is levying an allegation of a criminal offense.
No crime committed. There's no crime committed.
Somebody said, "Oh, the man stole money."
No, you gotta be clear with that.
No,
even if this money was taken by
when you lie on somebody, it's a crime.
Even if this money was taken by Dillon and all the other people, legally there's no crime committed because it is approved in the budget. Once it's in the budget, it's legal. So, but somebody saying that the didn't take money, and if I thought the took the money, there's no crime committed. So the question here is about integrity. You say one thing and do something different.
So let me just correct that. It's not that something has been allocated in the budget, so there's no crime. If the law says that no public official should withdraw from government covered trust for performing a single responsibility for which you have been paid and you put it in the budget, is a crime. And that's why the issue of legislative engagement and accessibility and the allocated $3,600,000 is against our Constitution, Article 90B, to be specific.
You got to prove that in court. I can't just sit there and say that.
But the law is there.
Yeah, I understand, but you have to be proven in court.
The point I'm saying, we're not taking them to court. This is a court of public opinions. And you are counselor at law. Steve is a counselor at law. Dralu is a counselor at law. Fandela is a counselor at law. So we are bringing them in the court of public opinion to convict them or to exonerate them. That's what we are doing. This media institution is a court of public opinions. But what I'm saying is, when we are talking about allegations, Akara Grace and the finance minister said they don't receive money. They don't say, I challenge you. Provide the facts. In the court of public opinions, we are not just going to look at, oh, bring the fight, this and that. We have to first go to the nitty-gritty of the matter. How did we arrive here? So in arriving this point, let me address Mr. Dralo a little bit. You see, one of the mistakes we make, and I'm saying that I'm very conscious with what I say. You see me when I talk, I don't have time how people feel. I speak my mind because I move by conviction. The reason the CDC is underperforming and they are in injury time is because in the past when they were in opposition, it was forbidding for them to criticize their leaders. Now that their leaders are in power, nobody will criticize them. Their leaders expect that they should be treated the way they were treated in opposition. We have DeLon as a single man in the Senate. Is he the only person? What happened to Steve Zago? What happened to Nyomli Kamra? What happened to the other people? They are there. But we see DeLon as the light. Akami, we see DeLon as the light. As such,
Vandela, I don't let it interrupt.
Let Steve. Just a second. Just let as quick as possible so Steve can come in.
So what I was saying, Mr. Dralo, we are not insensitive to what DeLon is saying. We know he's been fighting. If I sit on this platform and say he hasn't done anything, it will be a fundamental contradiction on my part. But we should not play the cards of the CDC. We want power. The opposition wants power. So when CDC walk butt naked, should we walk butt naked? If they smell with corruption, should we smell with corruption? We should be totally different from them. This thing is not about being insensitive to what the law is saying. We have election 2023. It is right near the corner. Should we have these kinds of discussion? You took money. I ain't take money. Who benefits? The government benefits. The government is going to benefit. So don't give them that inch.
Well, Vandela, I don't think we're all humans, and sometimes we err, and sometimes we do wrong. Yes, I fundamentally disagree with Senator Darius DeLon on some issues. I disagree with him even signing the budget, but again, it's a budget that everyone has said too, that when you have 20 items and there is one there, you vote for the greater good. But here is something that's critically important that you keep pushing. First of all, everyone knows that the allegation was not about the budget that they signed. No, the allegation was specifically about this 30,000, and there was a goal and a motive behind the 30,000. So you keep re-litigating this thing and keep saying the initial sin that he committed was to stand for this budget. Given we have agreed, we can't take that from you, or we can't take that away. It's a fact. But then we can't keep saying that because he signed a budget. So that means even if he didn't take the 30,000, we should push it on him that he took it. I mean, that's unfair.
No.
So no, I'm saying that would be an unfair argument. So let's make progress. Let's move forward into this conversation because we are hitting the 2 hours mark here. But let's move forward. We'll give it another 15, 20 more minutes of action here. Because now this conversation looks as though not only that is heated. I want us to come back to something that is very important. And I think the Liberian people should know because CDC is doing something. First of all, they told that they were going for a retreat. Well, I don't know, the president passing around, taking pictures with little children who might not even understand something, but they stay tying their faces is a sign that the people are not happy with him. But here's my point. Here's my question to all of you guys. Why did the president, in less than 6 months, decided to recast a budget? What is the motive? Especially you, Vandela, financial expert, Dwalu, that money people, Seku, he might not talk about it too much, but he understands money and finances. So you're telling me that me who not understand money and finances, why would a president, and let me say this, we'll play this video, we'll play the recording on Saturday when Mr. Cummings is here. Mr. Cummings predicted that this budget there will be a recast. I know some of you don't believe it, but the last interview, I listened to him very carefully, and we'll capture that piece and we'll play it when he come on the show on Saturday because he will be our guest. Why was a recast of this budget? Let me tell you to you, the money people.
Let me answer quickly so I can leave you guys. Before I even comment on the budget, I've been doing budget for over 20 years. I've worked in finance for close to 20 years. I understand how major corporations, how these things work. But I'm going to say this. When one Liberian, in Liberia especially, the likes of Senator DeLong, is trying to rise above the fray, he's trying to remove this country that's in dire straits into a level that we can all be proud of. We owe it to this man to continue to promote him and protect him. But I would say why the budget was recast. Initially, the budget was done hastily. There was no proper considerations in the budget. Every time the budget comes, there are no expenditure reports. Nobody know how these budgets are working. When you ask them, even the legislature themselves has actually said that they don't even review the budget before they even sign for these things, before they even run on, and approve this process. The reason why the budget is being recast, the election is coming. President Weah specifically has to move money around so they can have election money. This is the singular reason why. This is why they are putting a small little bit of rice and gari in little rubber plastic bags and putting the pictures on it. It's the recasting of the budget. What we are doing to our country is extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. There are real consequences to real people in Liberia. And I will give it to my brother Patrick. And Stevie, I want to thank you so much. I got these people report to submit. We're talking.
Man, you running, you know what? We'll catch you. You got to pay a fine.
Let him go.
Yeah, but Vandela, let's hear from you. You on mute, or you muted. Vandela, you're muted.
So, as I was saying, I'm sorry that Mr. Dwalo left. I think I'm not a financial expert, so let me just say that. But my knowledge about these things is that initially when the budget is prepared, there are assumptions. The government thinks about what we are going to do, in the course of the year. And when they realize at some point that it's like what we projected or what we wanted to do, it doesn't make sense. They have the right. It's an accounting principle, where you can adjust or you remove certain, items based on your financial spending, in this kind of terms and manner. You understand? So apparently the government felt that what we are doing or what we initially projected or the activities we wanted to do, we can't do it right now. So I think we need to do this. But saying they cannot do it like that, they have to recast the budget to go back to the legislature to really do a proper assessment. But like he said, I think they did it in a hurry at the time the budget was passed. You see, that's why, let me say this. Our leaders do not use statistical data. Most African leaders, now only Liberians, they don't use data before making decisions. You go in Sony way today, people cry, oh, no, right, we want electricity, without doing a proper assessment as to how many person will be able to pay or XYZ. They just go and do it. The same thing with the free tuition. Somebody went to the UL and people, oh, we want free tuition, this and that. President had a press statement and say, as of today, free education for all public institutions in the country. Guess what happened? The educational sector was completely untwisted. But if we begin to work, and this is where we suggested to previous government and even this government, including the opposition, that you need to set up a think tank. You don't have to have people working in government for you. There are people who are experts. When you are passing the budget, bring them for public hearings. This is what we want to do. Prioritize the expertise of other people. No, Steve, you see the United States Congress? When I was on my fellowship there in 2018 and 2019, they look for the best brains who are specialized in certain areas and tell them this is what is happening. We want you to give us your expert opinion. That individual will lecture them and tell them the consequences. When you do this, this is what you get. When you do this, this is what you get. From there, they will beat enough senses in their heads. And when they are making decisions, they know they have consulted and they are very much prepared before they make statement on the floor of the United States Congress. In Liberia, one man knows everything. He knows about security. He knows about finance. He knows about education. They know everything. So when you tell them, son, they don't even, in fact, they are only concerned about how much in the budget there for us. Only a few budget items. They don't get time. What all the Minister of Education inflated budget, what all the other person inflated budget. They don't read about that. At the end of the day, when you pass the budget and it doesn't work, it comes right back to you. Where we are now is a problem. Lastly, election is coming. And that's true. People want to put money, maybe some of the budget item over there to disintegrate opposition. And mind you, beginning from now to the end of this year, you see deflection from oppositions going to the people. Some of your very people you yelling today, watch and see. Believe me, I was there as a seasoned activist. I was there. I just told you about the meeting, on Broad Street about Evelyn. If I had agreed to stay in that meeting, but now we're being on different things, what will happen? Believe it. Unnecessary debates will continue to come. The intention of the government is to psychologically torture the opposition from now to 2023 to be totally disintegrated. And you guys are playing by the book. When I say you guys, I'm talking about opposition leaders. They are playing by that book. They are playing. So sooner or later, believe me, most of the young people will start. Somebody look at $1 million, throwing in 5 political parties. Election is over for them. Because everybody will start throwing jabs. The next thing that you will see, there will be a lot of co-processes. People will take political party, they say internal wrangling, they go to NEC. Before you leave from NEC, you'll not be doing anything because they will issue some order on you, and you'll not do anything. You'll be Liberty Party is going through that today. So before, maybe I'm not too sure, maybe from now to the end of the year, something will happen. You saw they play very well with the CPP. And they disintegrated them for some time, and they realized that they can no longer balance, they let them go. So the recasting of the budget, there are a lot of strategies that are going to be into place. A lot of them. So for me, this is where I see it.
Okay. Yeah. So what you said, we'll get to the announcement of other things.
Yeah, so what I wanted to add is that I totally agree for the fact that I have made some mistake in terms of passing the budget. We don't know yet. We don't know how he voted. However, if he voted to approve it, I think he will explain to the Liberian people as to how that and why. And one thing I wanted to say here is that we are not shading or trying to cover Dillon for a wrongdoing. No. But I will support anybody and I will go against anybody if somebody try to lie on you. That's just me. And I believe that's what Steve is doing here. And Vandala is looking at it from different perspectives. He's looking from the initial, how the whole thing started. But we are looking at this particular conversation, how it started and what gave rise to this conversation. Mm-hmm. The motive and the intention of the government or the CDC. And those who are making allegations, who are they? Are they trusted? Are they credible? Are those people that you really should listen to? Who are they accusing? Do you think they will ever say true about this person? That's how you make your critical analysis on issues. If somebody from CDC come and insult SKTV or a lie on SKTV or say something about the SKTV, first thing you look at who is talking here. What opinion this person have against SKTV? Is this person credible enough? Is this person telling lied? And then you look at the integrity and the character of SKTV versus the accuser. That's how you do critical analysis. And then you form an opinion based on facts. But these guys, like say, if this argument now, if Dillon is here, we are having conversation with Dillon, we will ask him, did you sign for the budget? Why? Okay. Did you receive money? Why? Okay, if you approve the budget, why you didn't take the money? Dillon will explain. That means we want to get to the bottom of the situation as to what really transpired. Versus people that already have formed opinion against this guy, that this guy came and disgraced us twice, that we're going to do everything to make him look like us or even uglier than us, so that we will lie on this guy. we'll make sure that this man is not the angel that he presents himself to be. So that argument against Dillon, if CDC, they were credible enough, Samuel Tua is the Minister of Finance. And Akala Gray is chairman on, I don't know, chairman or administration or whatever. You should have access to every credible information to indict Dillon. Instead of verbally coming and throw jab and set people, making it like, okay, they said on Spoon, right? We all know there are some elements on Spoon Talk that may be, good people, that may be somehow objective, but we all know that there are some link between the government of Liberia and Spoon Talk. That's a fact. They're where they can be comfortable and come and spew lies and deception. And we all know when it's something about government, the way the conversation can be like, it's about opposition, the way the conversation can be like at time. But there are certain people that fall for everything. But not everybody can fall for everything. So when Akala Gray can come and make that noise on Spoon, what they want is what they were getting. But you have to come and make your critical analysis on it and show the contrast as to actually what they try to present and what it really is. If we call Dillon here today and have a conversation with Dillon about politics as a whole, we'll question his judgment. For example, when CPP was stayed together and Dillon came on this platform here and said that, I'm leaning towards Joseph Boakai, that was another straw that broke the camel's back in CPP. We can ask him, do you think that was a good thing? Do you think that was a good idea? You can have a disagreement. You can have question on his judgment in some decision making. But that doesn't mean that when somebody lie on him, you should support that. No. You can disagree with somebody on one thing and still say the truth about them when it comes to telling the truth. So I believe, Steve, in closing, that this particular thing, until it can be proven otherwise, Dillon was lied on by Akala Gray and Samuel Tua until they can prove it that yes, indeed, Dillon actually received money. The question is not about whether they all approve the budget or they stand for this, they stand for that. That's not the question. They said everybody received money, including Dillon. That's what they said. And they are lying until they can prove it. Dillon said, Dillon put his job on the line. That I will resign today. My man, CDC don't let anything more than that. CDC will do anything, even if it costs for killing human being. If Dillon going to leave his position, they will be more than happy to do that. But Dillon is telling you, I will resign today if you can show me a proof. They got no proof. So they are lying. Plain and simple.
You muted, Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Well, folks, we will unfortunately not do the taking calls today because of time. And we have to run. Our surprise guest, Vandela Patrick, who will be our guest in the next few days. We are preparing behind closed door for him to be our guest. We want to host him for him to declare his ambition or whatever now. But let's give you your closing comment. We'll make the announcements.
So thank you to the listening public. And thank you for this beautiful platform. I see some level of improvement. But what I wanted to say clearly is we all agree that there's no proof that Dillon received money. I have not seen that with my eyes. Nobody has sent me email. There's no document to say this is where you sign, physical document. There's no bank statement proving that Dillon, or maybe from the Minister of Finance, that money was deposited in his account. I have not seen that, and I cannot sit on this platform and say Dillon is a rogue. On the other hand, I don't also believe that Akaras Gray, who threw the allegation, including the Minister of Finance, that Dillon received money and they can provide the facts, I also believe that it's intended to taint his reputation. And I think this thing should not be welcome. But like I said, if it was in the courtroom, they would have been asked to produce all the evidence, whether you receive 30,000 or not. But this platform is seen as a court of public opinions. We come here, what we say here, we don't have the prosecutorial power to grab people and convict them. But we can convict them with our intellectual analysis and based on some of the facts that we present here. But I was only saying, and I want to maintain my position, I was only saying we should not be having this conversation. I agree this discussion is not on the basis of where it started, but when an allegation of crime is attributed to you, then people will go to the native integrity of the problem. So I assume from the discussion that even though we're discussing 30,000, that my position was intended to dig beyond, not just discussing 30,000. The listener want to know how this 30,000 came about. And that's why I strategically went to the initial stage of the budget, how the budget was passed. And I know there are a lot of people who believe in our leaders. Let me just leave this with everyone. We should not love our leaders to the extent that we are afraid to criticize them. And I'd like to give a practical example, and I'm very unapologetic about that. I told the ANC, do not form alliance with the Unity Party because they are working politically butt naked and they will deceive you in the future. They call me names. They describe me as a hate person. Some of them call me as a sedition. I saw beyond what would have happened. They did not listen. Today, we are still struggling to stand as an opposition. Today, we are also saying, oh, you know what? He's been talking for us, and you know, and this and that. A single mistake can destroy your entire political career. Don't let anybody to come close to that. And this is where I have always said that the CDC, they are going down. They are almost like a Christmas billy goat. When you bring the Christmas billy goat, it will eat cassava leaf, it drink plenty water, it think everything is okay. But on the day of Christmas, no matter how it is, it will die. This is what's going to happen in 2023. Provided the opposition will develop and muster the courage to rebuke some of their leaders when they make mistakes. There's no small mistake in politics. There's no big mistake. A mistake is a mistake. But if we say we will not address that, we say, oh, look at the big picture, well, it's up to you. But on this note, thank you very much. And I can't wait to be here again on another platform. I mean, on another day to officially, I'm sure it will be my day for Bombardment. But thank you, gentlemen. I hope you guys will take it easy.
Of course, man.
My man, thank you. We're not going to anything.
I will push you all the way to the
We're not going to anything. When we do the announcements and everything, then we'll discuss. We'll bring. He said we are growing and the platform and this, the platform and that. Okay. We'll grow together that day. We'll grow together, my brother.
All right, bro. Thank you.
But thank you, and hopefully you can announce to the people if you are vying for any position in the Unity Party. But Mr. Kane, thank you for the discussion. Let me make the announcements really quick. Saturday, we're having Mr.
I'm glad that you highlight, you make it bigger so people can see my, my, I call it thing, my SKTV shirt.
Oh, leave me with the SKTV shirt thing. Don't pour inside.
People don't start putting in their order.
That's good. Congratulations. And I'll put my own order set for I want blue or yellow.
You want the Barcelona color?
Yeah, I want yellow with Barcelona flag red. I want the SKTV with Barcelona flag.
No, but so long you get Barcelona in there, you will not get it. It will not come.
Yeah, but let's do the announcement really quick. Tomorrow, we're doing mental health and wellness. Masa Duopo will be our guest. Masa Duopo will be our guest tomorrow. Please, Masa will be our guest tomorrow. So please tune in. It's 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we will be talking about abuse tomorrow. Tomorrow, our conversation is just surrounding abuse. Another thing we want to quickly announce, Mr. Kane, I think I'll have to leave you with, if you can take 1 minute of, I'll probably bring somebody from the Lobo family on for 1 minute.
Today?
Yes, they're having a mother's burial, the funeral service next week. So I'll just give them
somebody on right now.
Yes, just for 1 minute.
That's fine.
As part of the announcements. Let me see if they're available. But on Saturday, Mr. Kennedy, we have Mr. Cummings, right?
Yeah, Mr. Cummings will be on Saturday. And we're going to cover pretty much everything, including the current $30,000 issue. We will talk about he's been touring lately around the country, in Liberia, also around the world. He's been in Chicago, he's been in Florida, he's been in Italy, he's been in a lot of places. So we want to know what's going on, what are the success and challenges in those areas. And the election is getting closer. So we want to know exactly where the CPP stands as far as political climate is concerned. Many people are saying that Cummings is nowhere. Cummings is not anybody to worry about. But at the same time, the government is more concerned about Cummings than anybody else in the race. So we want to know exactly what's going on in the minds of Mr. Cummings, and also in the ANC and the CPP. It's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yes,
when it's SKTV, we don't treat any conversation lightly. We take everything seriously. I think that's what makes all more credible than many others.
And then on Sunday, we'll play host to Yasendi and her crew from Liberia for them to update us. We'll play host to them on Sunday.
Are you waiting on those people to come?
Let me send him the link quick. He said
Germany, Chicago, Italy, and Florida. I didn't even know all of that. Somebody just added. I didn't add what? I didn't add Germany.
Yeah, so we are waiting for it should be on in a minute. So
yeah, but I think what did you play the?
Yes, I played from the beginning. I did. I played from the
beginning. Stuff for Teco?
Yes, I played from the beginning.
Okay.
So let me bring on George Lobo's brother for him to talk briefly about the funeral service.
Why do you have to call George Lobo in? Just let me bring on Magnus Lobo. Don't come call George Lobo in here. Magnus got your own name, so don't even bring George Lobo in here. But begin get your own name. So
it's okay.
What's going on?
Magnus, how was sympathy to you and the family? What's going on? How are you?
Oh yeah, I just want to tell we know we got a lot of people will be coming down to Phoenix. So our friends and relatives will be coming down to our mother funeral. The service will be next week, as we all know in Phoenix. And all the particulars, I think Steve have all the information. So yes. if you need any other information, you get down in the city, you need other thing, just let us know. Our numbers are out there, and you guys can come and celebrate with us as we take our mother home. Contributions the family have decided is all on our information. That's the channel we're using. If any other channel anybody using, we don't know. But like I say, you guys are welcome to celebrate with us as we take our mother home.
Well, Magnus, our sympathy to you, and we will be posting.
And can you guys repeat the date again? The date on the.
The wait is on the 22nd, and the funeral service. The wait will start from 6 p.m. in the evening to 12 at night. Then the funeral service will be on Saturday morning at the Covenant of Grace Church up the hill in Phoenix, Arizona, and that service starts at 10:30 in the morning.
On what day? On the 22nd or the 23rd?
On the 23rd.
Okay.
That's the 23rd. The wait is the 22nd.
Okay.
Then on the 23rd, right after the service, right after the funeral service, we'll be going straight to the cemetery. Then from the cemetery, then we do the repast will be at the American Banquet Halls on 19th Avenue, as usual, and Thunderbird. That will be the repast.
So the information to be able to contribute, if you want to contribute, let's say maybe you can make it, please check SKTV's site. We'll post it on there by today. Before the end of today, it will be posted. Please check on there. The numbers will be there as well. The Cash App, the Zelle, however way, or if you say, hey, I don't do cash, I don't do Zelle, Steve, there are other alternatives. You can call me, call Sekou. We'll definitely link you with the family so that we can show support to our brothers and our sisters. I want to say how I was sympathetic to you and the family Magnus.
And thank you to SKTV. Of course, it is just bad on here with this kind of thing, but we'll come back to talk. After everything, we'll come back to talk the real issue.
Yeah. We know.
After the burial.
Yeah, I would really love for you to come back so we can talk politics after when we are buried, Omar.
Omar, yeah.
We'll come out to talk
of course, I'm not a politician, but I can give my 1 or 2 cents.
I know.
We are more informed and follow the day-to-day running of the country. We all have interest in one way or another.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I appreciate SKTV too. Make sure you send my own share. I'll buy one.
Okay, no problem. Just put in your order. You don't know how to do it, man. Put in your order and you will get it.
I'll not put. I call you Steve right after that. Steve, make sure you get my own. I ain't gotta go put all. I'll go pick up for your order. I'll go put all. When you say there, I can watch your order. Go get it. I say you must put your order.
What happened? We can't just make everything. We put in your order. You got to tell your size, and the color you want. So that way we make that one especially for you.
I see color on you that I want. I ain't want to go different way. I see the clean color you that I want.
Okay, no problem. I think Taco is listening. All right, no problem. You got it.
Yeah. I'll see you tonight. Tell the Papa, I'll see you guys tonight. Thank you for all you do.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Yes, so guys, that's it. That is it for today, Mr. Kane. I will leave it with you for you to play the song because I got to run to this doctor's appointment really quick.
We are running now. See you. See you later.
Bon voyage.
Okay.
Have a good day. See you all tomorrow.
Oh, I want to go, man, but somebody calling all my people. Anyway, let me take my friend call here. Prince. Hello.
Yes, hello, Sekou. How you doing?
We're closing now, but you're calling. What's up, my brother?
No, thank you very much for taking my call, man. I've been trying. I got full phone. I've been calling back to back.
Yeah, because Steve said we're not taking calls today, so we're leaving now. But I can't just ignore your call.
Yeah, I understand your view, your point, and CDC plan to make Gary DeLong to look bad. But however the case is, I don't understand what Vendetta Patrick is saying. We promote people, we elect them for them to be held accountable. We can't just have people just go into public offices and not held accountable. They don't claim to us that you're going to be the light. You're going to shine the darkness. He's doing his best. I agree with that. But there is also messing up along the way. They don't have no reason standing for that budget. That budget is one of the most, I don't even call it a budget. I call it a national hazard. It's one of the more corrupt budgets, heavily inflicted. Yeah, you may agree with something in there, but the politics is the same thing in the United States. The Republican will not stand for certain things if it doesn't meet their core value.
The Prince, I totally agree with you, and even with Vandala. My thing is, because we disagree with Dillon on other things, that doesn't mean when people lie on him, people trying to blemish his character, which he just fall for that. My thing is, if you can disagree with you on one thing, and then agree with you on another thing. So the fact that the citizens hated this guy because they got attempted or is attempting to do the right thing, when they come after him, you shouldn't fall for that. Then Dillon doing one thing other than what is expected of him, that is a different conversation that we can have anytime.
Dillon keep creating crisis for himself. You see when he lied on the ticket, you see when he lied about the diaspora support and the bill that he took to the Senate and went and tried to rob the library of the rights. You see when now he signed a budget. He signed a budget.
The allegation by Calgary was not about signing the budget or do anything. They said that they don't receive money. They don't receive money, and until they can prove that, we'll consider it as a lie.
Evidence improved. We shouldn't even be taking about that thing that's going on. But however, we can keep going at the same time. We can push on the fact that there's no evidence and they don't being lied to. But we also they don't have not signed that budget.
I agree with that.
Dylan need to start shitting on himself and
Prince.
want to put paper on him.
Prince, it makes sense, but let me tell you something. If we can chew gum and walk at the same time, but I can tell you this. When such allegation is leveled against somebody, they want to treat that allegation and then at the same time try to condemn the person for another thing. It will look like we are giving credence to what or the allegation be leveled against the person. We can have two conversations, but we can do a different time, because you don't want to seem like you are trying to agree to what being said without any proof. And my opinion here does not in any way, trying to say that DeLong is perfect or DeLong has not had any own problem. I've said this to you guys, to everybody, that DeLong may not be good with interpersonal relationship. DeLong may not be the most grateful person on earth. But when it comes to his competitor, people who are trying to compete with him, he's better than them. That's just the truth. He's better than them. The other people want to do corruption and be boastful about it. The fact that somebody engaged in a corruption or in a corrupt act and come in and apologize and say, I will not do. Why is it that people are holding the law accountable? Because the man said, I've done this, I will not do it again. So people are waiting to make sure whether he will do it again. What about people who are boasting about it and apologize to nobody? They are proud of it. They are doing it on a daily basis and protecting each other. So yeah, we can criticize the law all we want, but we shouldn't sit by and allow people to lie on him, or simply because we disagree on one thing, then any lie against him, we should support that. That's the truth. No, we shouldn't do that. I think we got to go now. Yasin is calling. Man, I want to go now. Everybody calling me when we say we're going now.
Yeah, you need to take my call too.
That's what I talking about. Steve said we're not taking calls today, but Steve left. And
I wanted to add my voice, okay? Like you and me, we all put our name on this house for Dylan.
Yeah.
And I would say, I know people will call me here and say, if I have to do it again, given the situation, I would do it the same way. And everything you said is true. I'm not listening to Alcaraz Bray, who just paid over $60,000 in Europe while he district people. I just came from Nigeria. And when people are dying on their feet, they don't even care what happened around them. People walking into cars because the hardest thing in Liberia is you wake up in the morning. For the time most of the people wake up, the food they're looking for. Now they're treating our people like animals. They're putting low garbage and right in there. They're putting a picture on it to run their campaign because they don't think they're worth it. The country that is crying and saying there's no money, okay? There's no money. So listen, I'm gonna make this quote. That's one of my favorite quotes in America. The greatness of America lies not in for enlightenment, but for ability to prepare for self. Okay? She start with one person. I will continue to hold Dylan accountable. I went on my platform and said, Dylan, this is me, the general. I like to know, don't just go post on your page and say, I'm broke. We want to know if you took money or not. I ain't listening to Akara's great. He is a nobody. I'm not listening to Solomon Job. He is when I $16 billion were missing. The only reason we found out that Solomon just spoke before he didn't get his cut. When he got his cut, he shut up. He's telling us the technique because we want to be in his position. Yes, many of us want to be in his position, okay? To make decisions that will impact our country and change our country, but not to be in a position to break up and break our country and leave our children without food in the future. So, for now, I will take the Lord's word for it. Although I don't agree with a lot of things that he has done, but I will never take a current grade over because the Lord has been made enough to come and say, I'm sorry, I know people say it's not enough. But at least, okay, I'm the one talking, I know I will get real for the people who be holding my impact.
But at one point or another, he acknowledged his shortcoming. And let me say this to you, me moving forward. I'm not your excuse is supporting anybody who don't have a lot at stake to lose. Either your name that you have established because your character is bigger than any else, or a feminine name. Not because we can talk plenty on Facebook. That does not constitute leadership. I'm not. So we need to, people like you say, ooh, you need to go to Liberia to go. You all need to get off the Facebook and go.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mama.
No, I'm serious. Because laws are opinion of the people. Those who at the table decide how a country will live, how we live. That's what they call law. Laws are opinions of the people based on our tradition or precedent. So the good people, we can't be afraid because it will beat us down. People like you, your children are grown. Go to Liberia, we support you. You already know in Liberia. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
I will continue to hold the Lord accountable because I put my name on the line for him. I put my money on the line for him. I put my integrity on the line for him. So when people ask me why Jack, I didn't go for a carriage rate. I didn't get money to a carriage rate. That the reason I'm supporting So
thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you. You're good and sorry because
no, it's okay now. You and Steve, you and Prince now finish make somebody else now call you.
Well, you know,
All right. Okay. All right. Hello. Hello. Caller 391 319.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. We still going now. Why you calling, man? That's so much more than can call when I start going.
We call it because the topic today is out. You see, let me tell you, bro, let me tell you. Among all the Liberian senators, you know, our brother had a butt on him. But for him, it's perfect. To me, it's perfect. I went to Liberia, March, February of this year. I went straight to the law office. I didn't go to any of the senator's office. My own senator, I didn't visit him. But I went there, they don't recognize me. He called me into the chamber when they were debating. I sat down quietly. I listened to the law. I sat down quietly and listened to all of them. Here we are today. Let somebody come up in our Senate and tell people, say, your camp, if I took the $30,000 again, your camp take me from out of this office. The law is doing something since 847. No senator have done, no elected officials have done in our country. Okay, yeah, not open the road for corruption. It is the way you have to work. People who work in this country hourly, right? Yeah. They pay us. They are paying them 50,000 plus. They have other incentives. Yeah. Why you can't use your incentive that you have and help other people and leave the Liberian people alone? I went to Liberia. When I left from Liberia, my mother-in-law got sick just for fever. We couldn't find data to diagnose what really happened to the body. The hospital is empty. People are dying. Then the Senate said they should take the 30,000 off the budget, and the House of Representatives taking the $30,000 comes 2023. Are you better today than yesterday? Thank you, Brother Sekou.
Thank you very much. You know, for some of you that have been around and been following me, agree with me or disagree with me, you know, I never supported wrong, regardless of who is the victim or the perpetrator. I never support wrong. So that was sometimes people get angry at me. I know even today my position with Dillon, when I say I trust Dillon over those two guys, some people get angry. Oh, you know, you're not supposed to say that. Dillon have done that. I can disagree with Dillon all I want, but I will never support anybody who will go and lie on him. I don't operate like that. If I want to really go against you, I go against you based on facts. And I believe Dillon is better than those guys. They are liars. They are criminal. They have proven to be criminal. Their own behavior. So when the $16 billion thing happened and the mop-up exercise happened, their own investigation showed that there were a lot of discrepancy. There were a lot of criminal activities. And what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. For people like that to have the audacity, the courage to go and link the character of another person, you must investigate that. You can't just fall for that. It speaks volume of who we are. Let's not support wrongdoing. Me, personally, I disagree with Dylan on a lot of stuff. And the way he behaved to all of us that helped him get elected is unacceptable. But that doesn't, that's his personal relationship. But when it comes to doing the work for the Liberian people, especially people who are against him, I think he's better than those guys. I still believe that. Maybe, like we will respect the choices of everybody. Maybe Dylan will support somebody for president that you don't want. Maybe he will support somebody that I will not support, or maybe I will support somebody he will not support. Maybe we can support the same person, but I know for the fact that Dylan and everybody else who have watched this government perform know very well that they have performed very, very poorly. And I don't think in the end, people that Dylan will support the wrongdoing of this government simply because of the hatred or disagreement within the opposition. I don't think so. Whatever be the case, I believe in the end, we let's put Liberia first. I love you all, and you'll be blessed. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Mr. Kumis will be here, and please tune in and be a part of a very, very important conversation. It's going to be very, very interesting. You have to be here to be a part, to understand exactly what is going on. You never know. Maybe people will be surprised. Maybe. You know? Somebody argue with me today, or physician argue with me today, that CDC is going to win first round. Somebody said that to me, that CDC is going to win first round. I said, based on what? I said, based because, Boaka can't win and Kumis is nowhere. And I told this person, whatever be the case, it's very likely, given the level of anger in the Liberian people right now against the CDC, whatever be the case, regardless, I said, I believe there will be a second round and the opposition party could come first. CDC will come second. I predict and keep this video. An opposition party, whether it's the CPP, whether it's any other opposition party will come first. CDC will come second if there will be a second round. But if the opposition kind of like form some level of unity, they can defeat CDC first round. I'm saying it, and you sit, take note, and you will tell me here on this platform. So I want to leave it right there, and then we'll see you on Saturday. Steve will be here tomorrow to talk about health, mental health, and awareness. We love you. I wish I could stay more, but I'm tired now. We gotta go.
Samalolo, Bossy. Yeah, Jade Ken, I'm when music Bossy over. Jade, Bossy, then the man, the music killer. Bossy, then the fire music killer. Bossy, then I have Bossy, then Jade, Bossy, then the man, the music killer. Bossy, then the fire music killer. Bossy, then Wali Yango Mango, Bossy, then Muso Numa Mango, Bossy, then Mambian Bolongo Bossy dene, I am Bolongo Bossy dene, Digituna de Bossy dene, boss, just with President Gabala US Lana Kono Mosi ni Biro la chair I am gonna ka Wala kela nekene to setamala Just with the lamp or no go wooden gadela I am so nyuma uyo ngotela Labi masacha wa lome MBP la Vesi basini nzini mambikono uo dala kalambenji la bega mako boss Wa iwe kibole diananke Olo ibala heji ko bare Samalolo nata anzele kono beji la morovi ave afe kana ben Ko bossy lene Antonio Soare Gine against me manga yako A bossy the way KPC Chico Bros movement Jati the tell A bossy the way Jati against Samalolo Na manager Mr. York Na bossy the way Mesa Duke Na bossy the way Azaya ngo mercy lile Atisi ala chomo ngo bossy lile Udi plem lo ngo bossy lile Ministro da Gina lile Journalist ya style ya bossy lile Madam President Tumba Fofana kwenye kama sa ngo bossy lile Seku kutubu Mande festival chairman a chomo ngo bossy lile Seku kene SKTV chomo ngo bossy lile Kwenye kabele uruzu so kama dingo ngo bossy lile Tisa bola bositile Yama bi sanze do bana si ala bositile Ya telefone wali wo ba bositile Fane dagbele ti bolo bositile Nena fola ngo bosile ne Na ijugun bala mwane na wali la be Wadi kona VIP Nene muzo nyuma siya masini cheli na e Kwande ate bola masini Wai bola njifala kwa miyo masini Kise manga oba kushini Bobelo nena go masini Wali bolo ate bana Gani komi bana aya fama ko Rappel bana Dena kasi pasingana Kada le na fola konga jini ngusi tona Paske ko posi dene mane miziki la Posi dene kwenye miziki la Posi dene Aya posi dene Jate posi dene mane miziki la Posi dene kwenye miziki la Posi dene Wali yongu